Hello and welcome to Chubby Boy Magic.
Titties.
Why?
Oh, fuck. Why is it doing that again? It's the buttons are fucked up. All right.
Sure, blame it on the buttons.
The buttons are fucked up. All right, we're just going to keep going with that. That's done now. All right. Hello and welcome to Chubby Boy Magic.
How's it going?
Pretty good. So on this episode, we have our friend in, Mr. Cal. Is it Boggs?
Boggs, yeah. B-O-G-G-S.
I just want to make sure I wasn't pronouncing it wrong. So is
How
it
would you pronounce it?
Boogs?
Boogs.
I don't know. Fuck, it could be French. It could be like Bouger. I don't know. Fucking
Yeah, just Boggs.
Boggs.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
Ireland and Scotland, I think.
Oh, you're Scottish like I am?
Something, little bit, yeah.
Yeah. He comes from the fucking from the bogs of Scotland.
All I can think of is Joe Dirt. Joe Dirt.
Fucking Mitch came on and I was like,
I mean, I am growing up the mullet, too. So.
I mean,
are you
it
gonna
looks
grow-
good.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, it's how old are you, Cal?
I'm 34.
You're the same age as me. All right.
Yeah.
So I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, I think he's almost 40.
Yeah, I'm 35 in October.
All right. Well, you're a year ahead of me. So, okay, Cal, who the fuck are you and why the fuck are you here?
Well, I'm Cal
so
Boggs,
angry.
and I have a little shop, and I do paint and mess with motorcycles and old cars and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
really anything else that kind of comes through.
Go
How
ahead.
much paint do you huff?
I try to wear a respirator, but
Yeah.
Do you? How often are you like in there and like, oh, I forgot to put it on? I'm like over here, like I saw Jesus.
I'm honestly pretty good about it. Like, I don't know if you ever seen old painters.
Oh yeah, where they get the shakes.
Oh, yeah.
They get
Yeah.
the DTs, man.
Oh, yeah.
They're over here
Yeah.
like, don't hand me your baby.
The clear coat, that's nasty.
Yeah.
Are
You can see it like the old bit, like in their face and their eyes, and there's
Yeah.
just like nobody's home.
Isocyanates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that attacks your nervous system.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and then that wreaks havoc on a lot of shit.
yeah.
It's not fun. Oh, is your phone on silent, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, because Mike Cook. Hey, shout out to you, little Mike.
Phone going off.
All the whole episode, and when I was trying to edit it, I was like, I'm not even gonna try. Anyway, so Cal, we've known you for a little bit now.
Yeah.
You're pretty cool to hang out with. You did some pretty
thank
cool
you.
paint jobs on several people's bikes
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we've seen,
And some skateboards.
and some
Yeah.
skateboards, and-
Skateboards,
Um,
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So, your shop's around the corner from my house. I've been
Mhm.
by it a million times. You're over by OKC Dent Shop.
Yeah.
And I was under the misconceived notion that you painted cars doing collision work and stuff like that, but you legit just kind of do real custom shit.
Right.
Yeah, which
I
is,
prefer to.
but I
um,
mean, with
I
bills
do
pays.
some stuff for Chris next door
Yeah.
from the dent shop, minor stuff.
Yeah,
Mostly if he has like new parts for
Mhm.
cars he needs done. That's
he's like, I got a fascia that
I gotta
need
tell you,
painted."
yeah.
the amount of work that goes into custom
Yeah.
paint jobs, like the taping, the layering.
That's the
Like-
time.
like,
right there.
Yeah, right there,
dude, that is so fucking impressive.
Yeah.
You know, was it last September?
Sucker and Shuffatash. What?
Last September, we went to Peterson Museum
Oh,
out in LA,
Yep.
and looking at the like all the cars there, but they had Gypsy Rose, and
Oh
like
yeah.
Dude, Gypsy
looking
Rose.
at just the layers and the detail and like how you keep all of that straight, because it'd be my luck, I'd be like, you'd be halfway through or 3/4 way through and you're like, fuck.
God damn it, the
Well-
roses are all blue. Fuck.
Well, the good part about custom paint, it actually is, it's easier to cover up little mistakes
Right.
rather than if you're just painting one big solid color.
Right.
You can always throw a shadow.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
kind
Or-
of fuck it real fast.
Just you can clear the whole thing, let that
Yeah.
cure, sand it, and then you can just add. You can
Add to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can cover your mistakes
Which
a lot better.
when you're doing something big anyway, a lot of times I'll go ahead and clear it
Mm-hmm.
and then sand it. That way I can lock down what I have
Right.
And
Right.
you're
and
So
not,
you're not,
cause a huge
Yeah, you're like,
potential.
where's the undo button?
Yeah,
you're like 60 hours in.
so you don't
and-
have to start
Yeah.
all the way over.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
What is the? I mean, do you probably keep track of some of your hours? But for like everyone that does design or shit like that, you probably lose some percentage. But
I honestly I don't keep that much track
Really?
because I don't want to think about how much I'm losing an hour if I were to.
that's legitimately
Right.
So- Spanky and I both have very different ways of how we edit. He'll batch edit photos and shit, and
Yeah.
I hand edit most of my photos because I'm
Right.
trying to make sure
That's,
that
you know, I don't I don't batch.
I thought you batched. Well, anyway, so he edits faster than I do because I'm real anal.
I mean, I edit to a level. Like, it depends on what they're paying me for.
Yeah, well, and I mean,
And if I'm like, I will edit to a certain level I'm comfortable at for
whatever deliverable.
whatever,
Yeah.
you know, if I'm
Right.
delivering you 10 photos, I'll spend 15 minutes a photo, you know,
Yeah.
like I'll
Right.
clear out the glaring stuff. Now, if you want me to go in and remove that giant pimple or a scar or make, you know,
Yeah.
Right.
your neck wrinkles or your crow's feet, like,
It's
I will spend a lot more time on it, but you're paying
Right.
well, and like
for that.
so, like when I get in and start editing photos, like I'm really so if I shoot for an hour and I get 100 images, I'm gonna try to deliver like 30,
Right.
and then I'll just really be in it trying to make sure, and like that's 100% where I'm like I'm losing
Yeah.
some amount of money on this.
Yeah.
I
But it's
found
a point of pride.
Yeah.
I found like with photography, mine is usually if I shoot for an hour, I'm going to edit for at least
Yeah,
an hour.
Right.
It's about double.
Yeah.
So and then, but like that's the thing is I didn't know because when we were talking about so I dropped off my KZP tank to you.
Yep.
I'm super excited because this is the first thing I've ever actually had nicely painted.
Yeah.
That was like not bought.
It should be done. I'll probably have that done Wednesday, by the way.
Fuck yeah! As soon as you walked in the house, I was like, do you
And
have
then
it? Yeah,
you get it Wednesday, we'll put it on, and Thursday you can wheelie it
There you
up
go.
and down the street.
There you go.
yeah, right. If I can figure out a fucking wheelie, I'll do it. But
I can show you.
I've had a lot of people offer to show me on my shit. Not like, oh, here's a little scooter that we don't give a fuck about.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's my Harley that's set up to stunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, the first thing I ever saw painted by you that I could recollect was the fuck
Blake's
Sportster.
Sportster.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was like, was that's a stencil?
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeah.
Cricket.
Yeah.
The little
Cricket.
vinyl cutter.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
he came up and was talking about when you pulled all
Oh
that
my
off,
God.
and he's like, yeah, Cal was like, never
No.
again.
Whose
Well-
idea was that?
That's Blake's idea.
Okay, that's what I was
For
wondering.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just kind of fucked that one out from the get go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, my handlebars,
Yeah.
chunk out of it.
Had well, it was like the third day.
Yeah, yeah. Because I remember we didn't really know him super well at that point. He was always cool, but he was like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
not a big ass chunk out of this." But
Yeah. Then we were gonna fix it. And then
Yeah,
well,
and then he's like, well, let me just really fuck
Yeah,
things
let me
up.
go loop a wheelie and
yeah, dude.
yeah, that's a bummer. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, you know, he's got a lot going on with motorcycles right now. So he's
Yeah.
got to figure it out. But we're getting,
Same.
yeah. Okay, so
I don't feel bad for him at all.
You're the worst.
Dude,
He watched
you get
load
a
your-
text message. I'm banging a stripper on a boat. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
Your
feel
life,
bad.
your life sucks, buddy.
Yeah, it's real
Yeah.
hard. So one of the things.
Love you, Bill.
So hold on. There you go. So one of the things I appreciate about you, Cal, is there's a lot of guys that have Harleys and they're fucking hell yeah, brother, and
Yeah.
or they're like performance teabagger and whatever,
Yeah.
and they will not. They don't have any admiration for any other type of motorcycle. Like,
Yeah.
they were like, oh, it's gold or it's road glider. It's not.
Yeah. There's one thing.
Yeah, that's it. And then I think it was the second time I ever saw you roll up on a fucking Dio, a
Yeah.
scooter, and I was like, my man.
Yeah.
And I was like, also, there we go.
Yeah. We made fun of the moped scooters for years. And then rode one of the old the two strokes that somebody had done a big bore.
Oh
and all
yeah,
that
70
on.
kit and some shit on.
And
Yeah.
see, I've had motorcycles I started riding when I was like 3 or 4 with my
Okay.
first dirt bike.
Right.
So
Nice.
that is honestly the most fun I've ever had.
Since
Is these scooters. Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
I keep buying them. And I bought one and immediately just sold it
yeah.
as somebody wanted it. The other 4 I've had, I got for free or as trades for paint.
Yeah. What was the other? So you have 2 Dios right now?
A Yamaha Jog, and that JDM Dio.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so you were talking to me because we're both scooter nerds.
Yeah.
And you were like, dude, you won't believe what I got for a fucking paint job. And I
Yeah.
was like, a handy? What'd you get? And you showed me a photo. I was like, that's never happened once to me. Every time I've always try to get the deal set up like that. It never works. So
Yeah, they've all been offered. So
yeah, which is fucking cool as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you well known? Because Blake Bell is like the secret scooter guy for
Dude, he's a menace on a scooter, and
Oh,
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
all day.
Like,
Oh yeah,
running down the highway.
Oh yeah,
It's
I
like
have video
what
footage of
the
him on the fucking highway.
We go down to Dallas every October, and we have a friend. His name's Toaster. You should see this guy's scooter collection. He is,
I knew who you were talking about when he said Toaster in Dallas. I was like, I know him from all my other scooter buddies.
Yeah.
He does it's called the Southside Scooter Ride, and it's just like a street takeover ride with mopeds, and it is so much fun.
Yeah.
It's a 2-day event,
Well,
so it'll be like Friday night. We hit Fort Worth and terrorize the
the fucking steers and shit.
and then Saturday it's through Dallas. So.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
Because like my buddies that have all done kits, because like my 50cc is just factory stock. I've done the restriction on the CVT.
Yeah,
and
it
awesome.
struggles.
Yeah, it struggles with my fast on it. But so like, what kind of speeds are you guys rolling around? Like Grom speeds, where you're like doing like 50 maybe?
Yeah.
So you're not like a real big menace, but
well,
there's just like
the
8,000
scooter
of you.
rides. Yeah, there's too many people that would go that fast.
Yeah.
But.
There's a lot of cops coming out and fucking.
But we have got on the highway in Fort Worth on the interstate, and there's a group of 200 people.
you're like fuck everybody on the highway.
People wheelies everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and it's fun because like, so I used to run a group page on Facebook that was OKC Small CC. Were you in that?
I don't know if I still am.
Yeah,
I don't get on Facebook a whole lot.
other
Be honest,
marketplace.
social media in general, I haven't. That's one thing I need to get back on.
I was trying to sample your work and send it to other people that immediately asked who's doing my tank, and I was like, "That's it." And I was like,
He hasn't posted in a year and a half. Almost.
He's still working, I promise.
I
I
think
just
almost. It might be 2 years.
Yeah, it's
pretty close. Like
it's
next
been back.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, so I just was because I was laughing about it because I was like, man, like when I was doing the scooter group, like that was one of the other guy that was running it with me who's from Dallas.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to have Groms come out because they do wheelies and shit, and I don't like that. And I'm trying to make it where it's just chill.
Yeah, this one is. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's his nightmare. I think when he was telling me about what his nightmare was, he was describing in October the scooter takeover.
Yeah.
The Groms doing wheelies are so much. They look like that would be so much fun.
It's the easy button for it.
Yeah.
That's we go on the like small bore rides here too.
Right.
And that's Blake usually rides that little KLX, and now we have the scooters, but
yeah,
I would hop on his Grom.
Right.
Yeah. Is that the black and silver and gold Grom that was on your your Instagram?
No, it's red.
Okay.
Red and black.
Okay. There was a really sick one that was like, oh my god,
Sketchy.
Is
It's
that
like the,
maybe I don't
it's been
know.
crashed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always good. Yeah.
I mean, that's what makes it fun. It's not fun if it's not sketchy.
No.
Yeah, like my
Yeah.
poor buddy has been wrecked like it
Yeah.
got banged like a fucking kitchen
Like
door.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
at Fast Life when everybody was racing Bell's scooter around, and
Oh yeah.
it was zipping around at like 100 miles an hour, and yours
I knew.
is putting.
Yeah.
It'd be like they'd finish on somebody would roll by on Bell's, and they're like woo, and then here comes yours.
Woo.
Me.
Was that you that I asked? I said, well, just let me know how many people get wrecked by that fucking thing. People are surprised how fat, like.
Yeah, well, like on Bell's,
Yeah.
like when it comes up on the pipe because it's two-stroke, it's like wow, and you're like, oh fuck, because he goes, I know you have one of these, but you've never rode a dirt bike, so like I'm just. It's also about like be real careful, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't do a really good bell, but he's like, dude, for real, it's gonna fucking noon, and it will eat in the dirt. I'm like, okay, and then like I fucking went out and I was like. Bullshit, and then I'm like, all right, and I'm like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
because you also don't shift, so like you let go of it, it's kind of like a jet, it keeps going for a second.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't see. It's dark.
That was the number one thing. That my battery had died on my buddy forever ago, and like the fucking light is just dim because it's just gone.
It just runs off the stator.
Yeah,
I don't
like,
think any of mine have batteries in them.
No, I have well, like mine. When I first got it, the battery was so dead. Even if you kickstarted it, you couldn't get it to fucking start.
Really? I don't even put batteries in.
Well, part of the cool kid club.
I just need to put a new stator in it.
Yeah, maybe. It was two chicks that owned it that used it in college, and the old man I bought it from was like.
So you're saying it was 2 chicks, 1 scooter?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kept I inadvertently the old man's like, yeah, my daughter used it, and then my other daughter used it, and I just in my grand idea
Sniffing the seat.
Well, I asked him. I was like, "Are you?" Because he was like, "Something, something, something." One of them's a doctor, and I go, "Is your daughter hot?" And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Nothing at all."
Somebody bought a scooter.
say that out loud?
Sorry, old man. He was like, "I can't. My hearing aids don't work very well." Okay, so I as much as we hang out and we bullshit, Cal, I really don't know fuck about shit when it comes to you. So like, you've done a lot.
Yeah, I've done a lot of stuff.
Like, What? So you started riding at 3 or 4. I'm guessing the PW 50.
Mini Trail 70.
Oh,
that
shit.
was way
Oh,
too big for me, but that's what my dad could afford.
Yeah.
I was born in Oregon.
Okay.
So I grew up there till I was 10.
All right. What part of Oregon?
We were in McMinnville. It's like a couple hours south of Portland.
Oh, okay.
In the valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like.
Nice.
So when I was described Oregon and Washington, they're like, you'll go to Seattle or you'll go to Portland. Very, very left. And then you'll go an hour outside and you're just like.
Is rednecks.
Yeah, it's just the most redneck shit. And I was like, nah, whatever. And I rode from Seattle up to Devil's Lake or whatever. And I was on the way up. I was like, well, I fit in fine.
Yeah.
I'm not too left over here. I'm pretty fucking far right. So.
But yeah, started on that mini trail. And my best friend lived 2 houses away. He had a mini trail 50.
Oh, shit.
So
adequately sized for him.
There was a big field right across the street from the house. And so we just
go out there and fucking bomb that shit all day.
All day, yeah.
Yeah. And then, so what brought you guys to Oklahoma?
My dad.
Okay. You didn't just decide you were going to move at
No, my dad's from here.
Okay.
And he transferred with Allstate.
That's right. I
there was
forgot
an
about
opening
that.
here.
Yeah.
He wanted to come back anyway.
Yeah. What part of Oklahoma is he from?
Shawnee.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was out there with that Hanson crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gonna just type an envelope? No, I'm fucking with him. Every time he pulls out his phone, I'm always like, stop doing that. You're gonna make me do my phone.
You want to look at it?
Yeah. Like we're all gonna be on Instagram and go find the worst reel we can find.
Yep.
So then, okay, so you move here, then you relocate to Oklahoma City. You're hanging out, having a good time.
Yeah.
And then, so what's first big bike you get?
Like road bike?
Yeah.
I got my motorcycle license when I was 14.
All right.
Yamaha Virago 250.
Fuck yeah,
Nice.
Yamaha, man.
Of course,
right here.
I wanted the Ninja 250.
Right.
But my dad, no way. He's a Harley guy and stuff.
Yeah.
So
he was like, "You're getting a little mini cruiser."
V-twin.
How was that bike to own, to ride?
I mean, I loved it at the time.
Yeah,
because I just got what other 14-year-old.
No shit.
I mean,
pretty much get to do what I want.
Yeah.
I think the first year I had it, I put 26,000 miles on it.
Damn.
Where is that button? There we go. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So did you? Okay, where'd you go to high school at?
I went to Piedmont.
Okay, and then you grew up in Piedmont area.
We lived kind of outside of Piedmont.
All right. So I'm trying to figure out, like, we didn't live in Mustang, and I rode to Piedmont every day.
It was nice. Like we didn't have a lot of money when we lived in Oregon.
Yeah.
But it was nice when my dad moved here. That's another big reason is make a lot more money.
Yeah, he's
Right,
balling.
right.
Yeah.
So, which also Oregon's so expensive.
Yeah.
I think we had like a 1,800 square foot house or something.
Yeah. Some would say that's pretty large.
For 150 grand.
Okay.
Or 1,100 square feet.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Tiny.
And we moved here and we got like a 2,300 square foot house with like 8 acres. And
You're like, what
Right.
the fuck? We got a tractor all of a sudden?
Yeah.
yeah, we did. My dad bought an old farmall, like 40s farmall tractor.
Yeah, I fucking knew it.
Built a dirt bike track in the back.
Okay. So you were 100% that kid that everyone's like,
Oh yeah,
We're gonna hang-
paintball parties.
Right.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. So you definitely broke some people's limbs in your backyard.
People have, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I never did. Somehow I never broke a bone living at that house.
Yeah.
For 17 years or whatever.
You're just like, I don't know how the fucking
Is that right? No.
math.
However
whatever.
long.
Yeah. I don't know. I do math for a living. I still can't do it.
Until my parents divorced, my dad moved into Piedmont and my mom moved to the city.
Oh yeah. So then when she moved into the city, did you get to come down? Like, how old were you when that happened?
17.
Oh, so you were riding back and forth on the bike too. How long
Yeah,
did you
well, I
have
drove by then.
Oh, how long did you have the Virago for?
Till I started driving.
Okay. First car.
69 Ford F100.
Nice.
Damn, he's been cool his whole fucking life.
I mean,
Had been in my family since it was brand new.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
where's it now?
Where is it now?
My mom sold it.
Oh,
I never got it put in my name, and
yeah.
she was tired of it sitting there after I'd finally.
asshole move.
Well,
Yeah.
after I'd started driving stuff with like AC.
Yeah. That was an asshole move there on her part.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have my first car still. It's in the backyard. It's my
Really?
142. Oh yeah, I'll show you in a little bit. No AC, no interior. That car's set for 20 fucking years before So a guy restored it in the late 80s, and then I found it in 2004, and it had not run since 91.
Okay.
So the interior is all fucking out of it. I bought like the shittiest race seats off some Honda Bro.
Strip.
All the wiring in it is red.
Yeah, because that's all I could afford was red primary wire.
That's how I used to wire.
Yeah, dude.
Whatever I had.
Yeah, whatever was on. And my dad's colorblind or partially colorblind, so he's like, I don't know, hand me the black one.
Like
Or the pink one.
stereo amp wiring is power cable, like your main power.
All day.
Always.
All day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That there's some. I've learned how to be not sketch.
Yeah.
I shoot whenever.
I know. I still do it sometimes.
Yeah. When I choose.
Only on my own stuff.
Yeah.
but-
Like if you bring it in and I'm fixing it, I'm gonna do it right.
Yeah.
But like if it's my shit, I'm like, whatever.
Whatever I
wire
have
needs-
laying around.
Like I'll remember that, and then
I
you
use
get
Romex
back out
at
there.
one
You're like,
point.
what the fuck?
Yeah. Who the fuck? It's me. It's
Yeah.
always me. There's certain cars where I know unequivocally it's me.
See somebody else's car, like I must have worked on that.
Yeah.
Did I own that?
Did I own that car? Fuck, man, it looks like this. I've already been here before. I've cooked here.
Yeah.
No, I've had it, and like I went, so I didn't have AC in it and all that shit. And, like,
Yeah.
then I had a car that was supposed to be the reliable one, but I never drove it, and like because it had AC, Eleanor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it for like 2 years before I was like, this shit's lame as fuck, and I sold it to this guy. And as I'm selling it, he's like, you don't want to keep this beautiful 240 Volvo? And I'm like, nah, not cool. Yeah, no. And then that summer hit, and I was like, it was the hottest summer I think I'd ever lived through at that point. I was like, fuck, I made a mistake. So you had the F100. Okay, so what's your first big motorcycle purchase that you?
I bought a Sportster.
What 883?
No, 1200.
Okay, I just want to make sure you weren't.
They had gone through the tornado and more.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
What the? Well, okay, tell the story of that.
Well, they had it on Marketplace or Craig's, one of the two. I
believe
don't
it
think
would-
Marketplace was
It was
around,
gonna be
so
Craigslist.
It's probably Craigslist,
or
yeah.
eBay at that point.
No,
And
Craigslist.
yeah, even the pictures, it was their house was gone, and the Sportster was just sitting there, like
On
where
the
the garage
pad.
would be,
like we
with a
walked
piece of
out of the
sheetrock on it.
yeah, we walked out and there was a motorcycle there.
Yeah,
Oh, it's ours now. It was what was on it?
a piece of sheetrock was just
They didn't
laying
even
on it.
take the they didn't take the sheetrock off.
Not in one of the pictures. Yeah,
Oh, and one of the
Yeah.
pitch. Okay. So how much was this horrible idea?
I think like $1,800.
Okay.
$2,000.
That's
something
not
like
bad.
that. Yeah, it was like a 01,
What
02.
what color was it?
Black.
Of course
Nice.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did it have like a king and queens on it or what?
Oh, I couldn't even remember.
Was it pretty cool?
It was all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it was. I think it was all stock.
Yeah.
at the
Okay.
time,
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
Spakey's
much.
over here
like
like
slip-ons and.
I mean, that's what I paid $1,800 for my Sportster.
I can't
It
find a
is-
Sportster for that much.
I don't
now.
think I ever changed the oil in that bike.
How long did you have it?
3 years or 4 years, and then it went through different phase. Did apes and
Yeah.
then did some T-bars on it. I figured I could do wheelies on accident. Like, oh,
How
man,
everyone
Yes.
discovers wheelies
Yes.
accidentally.
and that's when I had like 14-inch ape, all that
Oh,
with forward
fuck.
controls, and I could still. Yeah, I'm like, I
Oh
think
yeah,
I can do
yeah,
that on
yeah.
purpose.
I did that coming back from when I had a new clutch put in, and I
Yeah.
was like,
yeah.
where it used to catch, you're
Yeah.
used to like you let it out a certain amount, and this one was like, and then so I'm like almost all the way out. Next thing I know, I'm going through an intersection. I'm like, oh, the sky's kind of pretty,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I it probably only went up beer can high, but
Yeah.
it felt like I was 12 noon.
Right.
So
Yeah, so we were picking his bike up from the shop, and so he butts around on it. I drove him down there. I'm just wearing shorts and a t-shirt,
Yeah.
which I hate to ride in shorts. Like on my
I
scooter.
like it.
yeah,
Well, if I'm on the scooter, I don't give a shit. But like on any of the other bikes, I'm like, dude, this shit's hot. I don't want to burn my leg. But he's like,
Yeah.
oh, go rip around the block on it. I was like, all right. Which at this point, I've ridden, I don't know, you've known me, probably
You've
10
ridden-
10
yeah.
Harleys at this point, and a bunch
Yeah.
of like other wild shit. And I'm like, all right, it can't be that quick. And then I go out and I'm like, all right, fucking first gear.
Yeah.
It's a little spicy. Second gear, I'm like, a little spicy. And I was like, what? And I was like, oh, he gonna hurt himself. Because I was like, I think this might be a little bit more than he used
yeah.
to. So,
But yeah, then the T-bars, and
right.
then I had a buddy that wouldn't leave me alone about buying it, and I'm like, dude, you don't.
You don't want it.
Yeah.
You want
Changed the
go-
oil one time in this bike in 4 years.
I put
You
gas in it.
And then he had it, and it just kept running, and
So
he had it for a couple years. He sold it.
are Sportsters like the Nissan Altimas of Harleys?
They're
Yeah,
Just-
the Evo ones are.
yeah, they just
Yeah.
don't die.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's just good. What year was yours? No.
01 or 02.
So that was
Yeah.
like one of the last
That's-
Evos.
yeah, it was
No.
the same as mine.
Oh,
well, they made
03,
Evo from like 86 to.
Well, yours was
they-
carbed,
yeah.
yeah.
so till
carb models,
03,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
at 04 they went EFI.
And then
EFI, but they still.
Yeah,
It's still
yeah.
an Evo.
Yeah.
What was the thing what was that geezer? What was it? Was it like a night? It was an 88 with Delphi and all that stuff. What, was it Road Glide?
It was Road King.
Yeah, it's King because it didn't have all the fairing
Yeah.
and stuff on it. Yeah, one of the guys that we know had this really cool Road King. I helped to go get.
Yeah.
It was purple. It was really cool. It was very mint.
Yeah.
Very,
Sounds like my dad had one that was old 88 Delphi. Well, no, his was early enough. It had the Magnetti.
yeah. So this was Magnetti.
Yeah.
Does your dad live over like what east of fucking Draper?
No.
Okay, then not your dad.
No.
So yeah, like we go out there, we go get the bike, and he's like, "Oh, you just follow me back," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"All right." So then the dude puts all this shit on it and does all this stuff to it. Does a big front wheel on it. It starts
Yeah.
looking cool. I kind of like it. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Well, you should ride it with me to Edna's one night. You'll take mine. I'll take your FJ." And I was like, "All right, cool."
Okay.
And the entire time I was like, "This is the worst goddamn." I hate this thing. It steers like shit. It
Yeah.
shifts like shit. It died
Yeah.
on me 4 times at
Did
an
it really?
intersection. Yeah, because it was like. You'd go into fueling, and I was like, "Dude, your carburetor's all fucked. It's EFI."
Oh, Magnetti.
And
Yeah.
I was like, "Magnetti,
Trash.
Manelli," and
Yeah,
I was
Magnetti.
like,
That's
"Yeah," I was like, "This is why Lamborghini doesn't use them anymore."
yeah, at that point, I'd rather just have a car bike.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
told him to fucking carb it up. But anyway, so moving on past that. But yeah, that thing was, I did love it when it was old man status because it looked like it was at a JC Whitney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so okay, so you get rid of the Sportster. You're like, I guess before I do an oil, did you do an oil change before you sold it?
No.
Editors know.
At that point, it's somebody else's problem.
And he paid me more than I paid for it.
You got paid to ride that bike.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
I'm never buying a motorcycle from you though.
That one I wouldn't have.
I'm like, hey man,
I mean, anytime you buy a used motorcycle, I barely rode it.
mechanic owned.
Mhm.
Every time I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate buying used motorcycles. Like when I bought the KZ, like you were there, and I was like, yeah, it's cheap enough, it's good enough, it
Yeah.
runs, it idles.
Yeah.
And then on the trailer ride back, I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna do like a million things to this fucking bike.
Yeah.
I mean, we did.
That's,
buy
I try to buy them like
We
if I
did
buy
buy
used
it
one,
from
I
a-
want one that's pretty much stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
I
I'm
don't-
looking for one.
Yeah, I don't want all the shit done to
No.
it.
Because I know I'll just have to take all that shit off.
Because just like, oh, it's got chrome
Yeah.
T-bars on it. Well, I want black ones now.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. You're going to want to go the opposite direction of
Yeah.
it, some manner or form. We're like, oh, we got to paint it.
Yeah.
So how many bikes have you bought and tore apart completely to paint?
Have I done? Oh,
Yeah. Of your own?
really 2. But my Dyna I did like 6 times. So
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
So you have...
And doing it again now.
yeah.
So
Yeah, it's on the lift.
yeah.
I looked at it.
Yeah.
I was like, what's up with this hunk of shit?
Haven't
I was nicer than that, but...
yeah. Did a little mock up and then haven't touched it in a month and a half.
Oh, I thought it was longer than that.
Nah. Yeah, it might have been maybe.
It doesn't matter.
You'll
It's
be like, I'll
Been
get
too
to-
busy.
I'll get to
yeah.
it.
I'll
Too
get
busy
to it.
working on everybody else's stuff.
Sorry. Gonna
Well,
get
You're
money.
like work
It's
on
fine.
my
I like
work
money,
on my
so-
stuff
Yeah.
for free. Or
I like
get
money,
paid.
so
Right.
we're-
That's always the thing.
Yeah.
Why would I not get paid for this?
yeah.
Okay, so you get rid of the Sportster. What's the next bike you get?
FXR.
Okay, what year was the FXR?
It's an 86.
Is this the
Was
one
an
you still
86.
have?
I have everything from it, and now I just got that
That new frame.
new frame, which is also
Yeah.
an 86 frame. Come to find out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And it's got it. So tell the listeners how you came across this and what the deal is with
Oh.
this frame.
So I had my FXR that I put together. That's when they were starting to kind of get big.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Speed Merchant, all that stuff.
Oh, is this the one the swing arms from?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when all that stuff was like coming out for them.
And it's getting cool.
So yeah, all those companies, they were sharing it was pretty cool.
yeah. Did your bike get shared? Like you put it all
Yeah,
together
yeah.
and like it was like
Oh, yeah.
showpiece? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I
And,
found it on your Instagram.
then a couple things broke on it. I got mad, just kind of put it in the corner,
Mm-hmm.
and then decided to start working on it again, start tearing it apart. And the guy wanted the frame, so
You're like, I guess.
yeah.
Why not?
And I was like, well, they're going, $1,500, $1,200, and he didn't want to pay that. He's like, well, would you trade? I was like, we don't want to trade.
Oh,
For what
yeah,
I want.
forgot about
Yeah.
this.
He's like, well, I'm like, I need a long bed square body because I need a shop truck.
Right.
I couldn't believe it. I got one. Like,
Because
I'm like, you want to trade it? Like straight across. He's
what
like,
year is this that you're doing this?
Oh, this was about 3 years ago.
Right.
Damn.
So square bodies are still a hot
They
commodity.
They were
Yeah.
still.
yeah, it's not.
And of course, he's like, well,
Thanks,
it
Gas
hasn't,
Monkey
hasn't
Garage.
ran, and It probably hasn't ran in like 5 years. I'm like, that's cool. I'll borrow a buddy's trailer.
It'd be fine. Don't worry about it, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I got it to the shop and traded him the swing arm and the frame. Got the truck back to the shop, had it running in like 4 minutes. And it's been running ever since.
Dude, so when I bought the Buddy, I used to put those together when the Atomic Brown was open. So I was doing all their PDIs. So like I've gone through those things front to back.
Yep.
And when I bought it, the guy was like, "Oh, it's going to take all this work and it's never going to run again. I'm sorry. Like you're spending way too much."
Not that hard to work on.
Dude, it's really archaic, man. It's basically an overgrown bicycle.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, is $300 okay for it?" I was like, "Yeah, no, that's fine." I could not whip it out of my wallet fast enough.
I don't know, $250.
I tried.
At that point, I'm going down.
I tried it first, and I was like, "Well, would you take 2? Because I got to buy tires for it and some other shit." And he goes, 3? And I'm like, you said 3 anyway. So
You're like, no, I don't need it that bad. They're like, okay.
Yeah. Well, I was the first guy to show up too.
Meet me in the middle, 250.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was like, "Well, it won't run," and all this stuff. I was like, "Well." After I paid him for it, I got the title on my hand and all that shit.
Didn't tell him?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I used to work on these all the time. I'm not worried about it. It's going to be a pit bike, essentially.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, whenever you get it running, let me know. Like, shoot me a text message. Because he lives up in North Edmond, has lots of money. This is just him clearing his garage, so he's unannoyed. And so Spanky and another guy come over. They're watching me work on it. I pull the carb off. I had the carb rebuilt in 10 minutes, and that was me being nice and gentle on it. Yeah. And in 15 minutes after it being at the house, it was running.
Yeah.
You were here.
Yeah, because we rode around the neighborhood.
Yeah, I think I got
like going down the hill. You can get it up to about 28.
Yeah, and going up the hill it was like 15.
It was like 15.
But I think you missed the
all restricted.
Yeah, dude, it was so bad. But that's one of my favorite things. It's like I'll probably never live again, man. This is gonna be a yard ornament in your house. You're like,
right.
Well, matter of fact, I'm driving to get beer.
Lots of stuff though.
What's
buy stuff that doesn't run, and then I have all these big plans and never touch them. Just finally, you should trade it or sell it for something else.
You're about to see the graveyard in a second. Yeah. We removed one recently because I was like,
then just recently I picked up that FXR frame I saw on Marketplace.
I still can't believe
$150.
That's insane.
Yeah. Well, and Belle was like, dude, it would have been crazy if you would have found that frame and got it. And I was like, I would never have bought just a bare Harley frame because I
just happen to have everything else for it still.
Yes.
Right. Well, that's the thing is everything else that goes
with
that frame.
Yeah.
It's like just buy something that is complete and runs.
Yeah.
It'll be cheaper.
Well, and every time what I really want is an FXR-P. If I'm gonna get an FXR, I want a P.
Yeah.
And fucking good luck. I don't have that much money.
Yeah.
Like, the studio ain't lavish over here. We're not sponsored by Spotify
nice.
over here. It's nice, but it's it's wrong color in here. But
I like purple.
It's nice. It's a lavender. It's
lavender.
Yeah, I don't know. Fuck, I didn't pick the paint color. It was supposed to be dark.
I can't believe you got a square body for that frame.
Yeah.
And it's yours is an 87?
85.
85.
And it's good, and it looks good too.
It's beat up.
Got the gold tooth on it.
Yeah.
The gold tooth is hilarious.
Is
the bent little bumper on the
the bumperette, dude.
Yeah.
Because Spanky walked by it and he goes, "Is that gold?"
Yeah.
I fucking
anything with a gold, with like just a little touch of gold on it. It's like
yeah. Once I hit that dog and it bent. I had water base. Gold candy in my airbrush, and it was parked right in front of my bay door, and I was like,
what up? We're here. I
didn't sand. I can't believe it's still on there.
Did you prep it at all?
No.
Didn't even like clean?
No.
Didn't even brake clean it or anything?
No.
Just didn't even take the bugs off?
Nope.
I love it.
Yeah. I tell you,
I've had a wheel fall off of it. It sheared the studs on the left rear wheel.
Oh, fuck.
It rolled under the bed, so now the bed has hit the cab.
Yeah. And you're like, I'm not getting that frame pulled.
And then the rust above the wheel well on that left side, it's tan, so I just drank a couple Coors Originals, cut up the cans, and riveted them to the side of the truck. And now they're so faded, it kind of matches.
It does match, because it took me a minute, like, because, I first saw it, and I was like, right, it's a really clean cream, like, square body. And I started looking, and I was like, well, he did some shit to it. Because there's that, people are like, oh, I do the license plate all over, even though I don't have a hole in it. And then there's the utilitarian of, no, the license plates are there for function, not for form.
Yeah. So my feet don't hit the...
I'm not Fred Flintstone in it. And, like, I started looking, I was like, I bet that's covering up rust.
Like, it looks good.
Yeah.
It looks really good when it's by itself.
Yeah.
But then when you're, like, next to...
when
you're next to Mark's, it's like...
Yeah, I like, I don't... I've taken it to some truck shows and stuff. But
right.
I never put it in a show.
No.
Like, I lowered it. Like,
Yeah, because how did you lower it by just cutting the springs, or did you?
I did a
drop
flip
spindle?
kit in the back.
Okay.
And then in the front, I just cut a coil in half.
Do
Yeah.
you remember there used to be a guy over off Robinson, just past?
No, we've talked about this because this was in the 80s,
yeah,
and I was not born until 1990.
Okay, never mind.
We're both. He's not gonna remember either.
I think it was. He was later.
He
than
might
that.
know. Fuck, I was doing it all on my
There
own.
was a guy. You know where the Cholinos factory is over there, or
The tortilla.
The
Yes.
tortilla
Yeah.
factory.
Yeah.
There used to be a guy over there that you would pull up, and he would.
He's like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Dos,
he would
tres.
get his torch out and heat
Yeah.
up the springs.
Yep.
and then, like,
Oh, yeah.
What are you
Drop-
doing?
drop-
We've done that
Microphone in your
before.
face.
because you took the things off, and so I can hear.
Okay, sorry.
We've done that before.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how for the long. Here, hold on. Fucking Jesus Christ. What's up, Dad?
Who taught you how to throw?
My dad left for cigarettes and milk, and then he never came back. He's gonna really hate that if he listens to this one. No, like when I was into Volvos super heavy, like the thing would be that they would either heat it
Yep.
and then drop it back on the jack, or they
Right.
would just one fucking jackass with a grinder
Yeah.
just get in there. And I mean, this was circa 2005, 2006, so
Yeah.
the worst quality of video ever. Just watching some guy just
Yeah.
trying to be like, ah,
Yeah.
A bunch of the guys that were doing like the little
the mini trucks,
the mini trucks.
Oh, yeah.
mini
So
truck.
when I was in high school, so like late 80s, early 90s, and
1890,
they would
1880.
go over and it was like $100, and
Yeah.
he would sit there and heat them up like one at a time.
Yeah,
and
I just
drop
don't
it.
like that because then
Oh
you don't
no,
have
no.
a spring anymore.
No,
I-
not at all.
no,
Even
I
if you
get
cut
it.
it.
But when you're
Mine still rides pretty good.
Oh, even with the cut screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah. That like when you heat them,
you're not doing it for
because they don't just heat
rideability.
It's
Yeah.
static drop.
You're doing it
Yeah.
because I want that fucker to look good.
And
What
just
is
don't,
it?
and don't want to buy drop springs.
Yeah, it was
Right.
adjust the altitude, adjust the attitude, or drop the altitude, adjust the attitude.
Yep.
I think is what it's called. But
Oh yeah.
Aaron from
Yeah. Somebody's like, I
Fast and
spent
Loud.
Fast and Loud.
$500
You
on
remember what I'm
mine.
talking
Yeah,
about,
I watched that show.
that show was
Cool.
actually pretty good for a while.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then-
When it first came out, it was cool. Yeah.
And then whenever he got popular, Dennis
Yeah.
Collins, his buddy that's on the that would come
The
on.
Jeep guy.
He's got a way better show on
Does he?
YouTube. Call out to it's called Coffee Walk. I try to tell everybody I can.
I like Vice Grip.
Vice Grip's.
I do like
yeah,
Vice
Vice
Grip.
Grip. Derek Bierry.
Yeah.
He's going to be on the episode. He's going to be on the show.
Is he really?
No, not yet.
I was like, wait, what?
Actually, what's funny is I know a handful of people that know him fairly well
Yeah,
that were like,
so
if
true.
you wanted to, we could probably make
do
it
it.
happen.
Yeah.
And I was like,
So make
why
it happen.
not? I was
Yeah,
like,
that'd
dude,
be
I'm
cool.
a whore when it comes to fame.
Yeah.
I'm going to latch on the back of his accolades. It's called tail front coat riding. I'm going to do
Yeah.
it. No, he's actually like a really nice guy, but he's can probably talk about farming equipment.
Yeah, I think that's really his thing.
That's his
I think,
passion.
the
Yeah.
farming. Yeah.
Yeah, he like his Vice Grip launch.
So then
Yeah, I
we can get-
love that too.
Yeah.
I've been watching that a lot.
oh, dude,
We need to
same.
get some
Whores?
lawnmower. Well, I
Okay.
mean, 4 doors, more horse.
Yeah.
We need to get some lawnmowers off Marketplace, and then when he gets over here, we can be like,
Please.
"How you doing?
Uh,
Let's
yeah.
set these up to race."
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah.
just sent me a video because I found it by accident the other day, but I didn't watch it. It's someone took a riding lawnmower and a KZ 1000 motor and
Oh, yeah.
put it in. I was like, that's fully fucking TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like,
Because guys build those like mini Jeeps and stuff.
Yeah.
oh, fuck, dude.
So cool.
They go, I'm like, all the time, I'm like, if I was just more dedicated to being not a full ADHD fucking recipient, I could
Yeah.
get so much more cool shit built. So, yeah. Okay. So, you were telling us before, I didn't know this. So, what did you do before you were a painter? Do you want to talk about that? What's off limits? Can we talk about when you were in the Fighters of the Booze?
No, I don't.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Or how
We
you
got it.
broke your chronic masturbation habit.
Yeah.
Has he
a
broke
lie.
it? Yeah,
That's a lie.
yeah, that's a lie. It's awfully sticky in your shop.
I mean, yeah, I did the motorcycle club thing. It was fun for a
Yeah.
while.
And then, but you aged
how
out
ma-
of it.
How many years were you in it?
Almost 5.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But you made a
Yeah.
lot of friends and had a lot of fun in it.
Yeah.
yeah. But okay, so we'll move on past that since it's
Well, I guess I've done construction.
what company did you work for?
I worked for my buddy's dad's. He was a general contractor.
The GC.
Yeah, he builds like $1 million plus size homes.
So he played a
Custom
lot of
homes.
golf.
No, he's not
Oh.
a big golf guy.
He
though.
drives a fancy truck
He goes
and
to the
sits
lake.
in it.
Yeah. Every time, so my buddy Harry, he was like, everybody I know that's a roofer, like the head roofer,
Yeah.
the owner of the company or a
Golf.
GC. He's like, I never have to worry about trying to have a lunch friend.
Shout out to L.
Oh, is that who you used to work for?
No, L. He golfs a lot. Owns that roofing company.
Which roofing company does he own?
I know what it's called, and now
proud
ask
sponsor.
me, I can't remember.
Proud sponsor of the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, mopping over here.
I know who I'm going to talk to later.
Yeah, I've been.
He's like, who the fuck are you?
He knows. I gave him a hat. I'll be like,
they ran
"What's up,
heavy
buddy?"
equipment.
Oh, so you've
Done that.
Are you forklift certified?
Yes.
All right.
Do you have to keep?
I don't know anymore.
It doesn't matter.
Have I
as
been?
long
Yes.
have you been? Yes.
Have
Yes.
you? What's
Yes.
the biggest forklift like object you've ever operated?
I used to drive a big like front end loader. I worked at Insurance Auto Auctions.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, with one on 35.
Before it was there, it was over off
152
Airport Road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's still that one over there.
Well, we had bought that yard over there, and
Okay.
we were kind of at both.
Okay. So you used to just okay.
Yeah, so I moved cars all day, every day, and then became a yard manager, and somehow still had to just run the loader.
Yeah, you're like,
and
what
do,
the
then
fuck?
do both jobs.
You're like, what the fuck?
Like, what the fuck?
Well, and you're like, I also enjoy.
That's why I quit.
Because you're getting double work and no pay.
Yeah, I just came in one day, and about 10 o'clock, I was like, man, fuck this. I just I just fucking left.
I love.
You're
I love
like,
this
I'm
when-
going to lunch.
Bye.
Yeah.
You're like,
Just fucking left, didn't come back.
yeah. So I worked at a Volvo only salvage yard up in Edmond for a while, and they had
Yeah.
a gigantic forklift.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck he got it, but it was like way too big for anything we needed.
Yeah.
And so the guy that ran the salvage yard would most of the time do that, and he goes, probably because of this, but like he was like. He's like, when you go fork, because he's like, have you ever used a forklift? I was like, yeah, dude, I worked in warehouses forever. It can't be that fucking difficult. I haven't driven one for 2 years. It'd be fine. He's like, can you go fork this car?
Yeah.
Which
You're
this
like-
car's
But
just,
then you get in there, the control. I mean, it's front
all-
end loader control.
yeah, it's all fucking
Yeah.
backwards and shit. I was like, fuck. Well, this is just a bare chassis. Like,
Yeah.
it's got, this car had been T-boned. It was not good. And I fucking lifted it because I was like, well, I would lift it up from the bottom. So I put the forks underneath the bottom instead of underneath the roof like most people do.
Oh,
Right.
I put it underneath the bottom, and I just basically almost flipped it over into another nice car that we were trying to get parts off. That's why
we
we were
lifted them underneath.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
you
I
did?
had 16-foot long forks.
Yeah, the big.
They were kind
Yeah.
of narrow.
Yeah, and
They
you
had
just,
them, they used to get them made.
Yeah,
But yeah, we picked the cars up from the front or the back.
yeah. Oh yeah, so like LKQ. So not
Yeah, just
not,
like LKQ
not
or
perpendicular, parallel to the front.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
just yeah.
or Copart. Yeah.
Yeah, Copart. Yeah, fucking. My dad bought. He bought a Volvo off Copart. Had it shipped from Dallas
Yep.
up to this location because it was like $2. So he's all excited about it. The thing was, is they said you have to unload it from the trailer. And
Yeah.
he was like, all right, cool, whatever. And then so there's some guy running around the fucking front end loader. He's like, $20 and just goes, hey, can you get that off the trailer?
Yep. I did that all the time.
Well, which the guy told us the next time we were down there picking up another car, he's like, I just do that. You don't have to pay me. I'll
Yeah.
take the 20, but
See,
Right.
we would get the transport drivers from, we recyclers, all that stuff from all over the country are buying cars.
yeah.
So yeah, they'd buy 8 of them and they'd send one transport truck. And then none of the cars, they're all just destroyed from being wrecked.
Yeah,
not
right,
all of them. I mean,
right.
some of them run and drive,
Yeah.
but
Certified run and drive.
Right.
yeah, then
Yeah.
they're like, hey, load it on the trailer. I'm like, no, you got to go in and pay. Like,
Yeah,
we
'cause you can-
charge a loading fee for
Yeah.
every car.
Right.
Yeah, for every
Unless you want to give me $60.
How many times did you?
And that's, hey, I'm saving you half and just give me the
I'm
cash.
saving you half. Did anyone ever notice?
Give me the
they're
cash.
He's
I
got
don't
pay
know.
up suckers.
They may have. I don't know.
Yeah, they're just like, I don't care, whatever, cows out there.
He's
just
like,
make it.
allegedly.
Yeah,
I thought
allegedly.
you said he paid you. He
Prove
said you're just like, hand it to me with the paperwork.
He
Yeah.
showed me a
What
receipt
cash?
and gave me a tip.
What cash?
What cash?
What cash? So this fucking dude just goes up on the fucking of this trailer and just. My dad's all super excited about this car too, which I was like, hey man, it's probably gonna be all
Stabs
fucked
it.
off. Dude stabs it like fucking Romeo and Juliet, just bap.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus.
we tried to be as careful as we could.
That guy was not.
Or else the insurance companies, because it was all their vehicles.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
They're like,
We
this
damaged
scratch
stuff. We
wasn't
would-
on here. The whole left side's missing. And they're,
Yeah.
well, there's a scratch right here.
The right rear quarter
Yeah.
panel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like popping the tires and
Oh yeah. I
bending suspension stuff.
Yeah.
Try not to do that.
yeah. So did you ever were you out fucking around like can we flip this car over?
Oh yeah, I drop shit. I messed some stuff up, but
How
not
is-
on purpose.
Oh, okay, not on purpose. I was like, you didn't have the junkyard games where you're like, all right, let's see how far. What sound does this
Like-
make from 20 feet?
I was carrying like a little like U-Haul box van deal.
Uh-huh.
Couldn't see anything really
yeah,
around
yeah.
it. I'll smash
And-
right into
and-
another
and-
car.
And of course, you're going forward, not
Oops.
backwards like you're
Yeah.
supposed to.
No, we're supposed to drive forward.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
you don't want you to turn around.
Yeah.
Now, see, that's not. We were always.
Well, yeah, when you're on.
But
a small
I was government certified forklift.
yeah, you're not hauling cars.
Well, a little
No,
forklift.
we're
Yeah.
hauling airplane wings.
Yeah.
There's a little different from the fucking car
Yeah.
that's on the chassis.
But yeah, I messed some stuff up.
Well, did you ever fork something by accident, like just through the
Oh,
door
yeah.
skin? And you're like, oops.
Oh yeah.
Allegedly.
No, I
Or
told
see
them.
how far an AK forklift will go in the dirt before it just sinks
Yeah.
down and won't go any further. Yeah, about a foot. About a foot.
I'd let them know, like, hey, I accidentally messed up a car. Okay, they'd
Well,
let the insurance know. Usually, they didn't care.
Well, I mean, by the time it's in that yard, it's really pretty far
It's
gone.
already total loss.
Yeah, it's not
Right,
going
they've
any-
already got their money.
but
for
there
it.
were still a lot of stuff that they totaled out was still pretty nice.
Yeah,
Like completely rebuildable.
right. And then, so, because I have a buddy that, I don't know if he's still doing it. He used to buy all this crazy shit from Copart, but it was all
Yeah.
exotic cars.
Yeah.
So he'd buy, like, there'd be a Cayenne that would come in. He's like, I got this thing coming from Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's totaled. And I don't know why it's totaled. And if it looked too good, I was always 100% right.
You know,
Right.
Flood
something
car.
underneath.
Right,
yeah.
Flood or undercarriage.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Well, and I was
Oil
surprised.
pan torn off and they blew the motor.
That was so I didn't know this growing up, that like you can mechanically total out a vehicle.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, you mean to tell me I could solve my problems with this loan today?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, I just hit something on the road. I don't know. I just kept driving. I was scared. I was in a part of town where I didn't like it.
started making this weird noise.
Yeah, I've known.
I'm scared.
Dude, I had one of those Bible church guys today when I was going up to the bank. And he like comes up and he walks between all the traffic like the fill the boot guy, and he's like looking at me and he's got this dumb shirt on. He's just standing outside my truck like, hey, come on, give me some money. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, leave me alone. I don't want to deal with your shit. And I was actually like, because he started like
You know what I
touching-
do?
Fucking
I start act like I'm deaf.
oh
I did it during COVID, like
Yeah.
at Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, sir, you need to put your mask on. And I just act like I'm deaf. They're like, oh shit, like kind of walk off. Like,
the first thing I did was, and I was like, he can't. That my truck's not that dark on the tent. So I did one of our friends. I'm not gonna tell you who it is. This is in sign language. Fucked me in the ass.
oh no.
Yeah. If you don't know it, look it up. Google it, everybody.
Yeah, I'd worry about saying that, but somebody's deaf can't really hear me. No, I told my buddy, one of my buddies is deaf. I let him know. He thought that was the funniest shit.
He was like,
Hey, there's a good story with him. He went and bought some shoes, I guess, at Dick's one day. And the guy working there was like, "Sir, are you drunk?" He's like, "No, deaf, you fucking idiot."
Are you drunk?
He's like, "I'm fucking deaf, fucking idiot." That's my favorite story he's ever told me. And then he got like half off the shoes.
I would have just been like, hey man, look, those are free on the house. Dude. Like, I'm gonna take that one. That's an L for me.
Let me remove that safety sensor. Just walk on
Shout
out.
out to Chad. Dude, Chad's awesome.
So is he partially?
No,
or
he's
100%
deaf.
Oh, deaf.
Yeah.
So-
But he reads
reads
lips
lips?
real well, and he actually talks pretty good, to be honest.
How does he sound?
I'm good.
He can't
You know
listen.
how they
He won't
sound.
know. He
Like
won't know.
he's deaf, fucking idiot.
He apparently sounds like he's drunk.
Yeah, he sounds like he's drunk.
Yeah, I just can't imagine.
This shit's so funny. Poor guy.
So
I'm surprised the guy wasn't like, yeah. See,
No,
'cause
he went
I-
and got the manager and was like, he's like, that guy didn't come. I think he was so embarrassed.
see, I would have been like,
double down.
this fucker's like fuck with me. So
Call security on
out.
him.
We'll jump out behind him and like clap or something.
Yeah.
Just be, hey. See if he jumps.
Scared, like jump out. Yeah.
No, you just start doing like
Whisper in his ear. Yeah. Like,
go whisper in his ear. Just go up there and nozzle on the earlobe.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't like those.
yeah.
So part of what I do over an actual job is civil engineering design.
Yeah.
I've spent an assload amount of time with disabled people trying to
Yeah.
figure out how to make their lives easier.
Yep.
So like the episode where I was on the scooter out there, Riley's over here, where I about whipped this guy's ass because he parked in a handicap spot. I was like, you ain't handicapped yet, but you about to be.
Did you just get in your car and leave after
No,
what I'm about to think I hear?
Dude, no, I just me and him almost got into a fucking full on battle.
Oh yeah.
I was like, no, you ain't parking over there. So anyway, I have spent a lot of time, but deaf people really get left out because for the most part they can see.
Yeah.
They can navigate the world the right way, but like I was watching this thing, and so the ADA, they're part of it because Braille and shit and all that stuff for blind people and the canes and all that stuff. And this guy gets on, and he has a sign language interpreter, and I'm like, there's no way that's legit because she's doing this. It's like she's flashing the woo symbol like left and right. I'm like, what the fuck? And he would like look, shake his head, and be like, okay.
No idea what she's talking about.
And he was like, I think you're talking about. I'm like, what? And he sounded like he was fucked off the whole time. I was like, God, I'm trying not to laugh in this fucking meeting.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be like, I need to go take a break. I need to go use the restroom. So, what's...
You know what? Also, I might take that tea.
I told you you're going to want that motherfucker. I went and got it for you.
But
you were like, the complimentary thing just for the show is you get a t-shirt.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I wanted one anyway. I meant to buy one.
Well, there we go. So you get a t-shirt if you come on and you're a guest, depending on the guest.
Yeah.
And then I get you...
You didn't give one to Clint, right?
I did give one to Clint.
I love that guy.
Yeah, Clint's the shit. He messaged me randomly today. That was one of the more fucked up things I've ever gone through. You know the guy that blows up the dryer,
right?
Puts his feet on it. I've seen it like 8,000 times.
Yeah.
But Clint,
oh my god, with the firework or something in
holy
it.
fuck, dude!
Yeah,
It's
and it like just
it
fucking
annihilates
explodes.
him.
I think I just watched it today.
Yeah,
I've watched that motherfucker like 18 times.
I've got some artillery shells, and you have a dryer in your garage. We could try this.
What's funny is
Gotta hold the door closed with your legs.
yeah, I gotta hold the door closed. Last week, the sheriff was like, I think the dryer's dying. I was like, well, we can get rid of it.
Yeah.
But like, so Clint sends me that out of nowhere. I'm like, I haven't talked to Clint for like since before OFR.
Oh yeah.
And all of a sudden, I get he's like, holy shit. I'm like, what's up, Clint? How's it going, dog? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good dude. So okay, I digress. Hold on. How did you get into painting? You said you were a diesel mechanic. Can we talk about the diesel mechanic, or is that classified?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Then I was in the oil field.
Okay.
Did wellhead service.
Okay.
That kind of crapped out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got into. Well, I worked for a trucking company, and I was running their saltwater disposal.
Oh shit.
Nice.
And
Does
I hated
fracking
that.
cause earthquakes?
Yes.
Yeah. I love how
I would
he was
assume
like,
so. I don't
He's
know.
like, yeah.
Burrito's like, I fucking hate you.
I've always worked on I worked on car. I worked at a little mechanic shop when I
Yeah.
was younger. I've always worked on my own stuff.
You've been handy,
Yeah.
handsome and handy in your
there we
case.
go.
I'm just handy,
Yeah.
fucker.
That's the beard. I
Yeah.
gotta hide. That's what I hide the.
Yeah, that's how.
face.
Yeah.
If I didn't have this, I'd look like a fucking
But-
divorced version.
But yeah, I would go down to the shop when I didn't have a whole lot to do.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, hey, you're kind of good at this." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I can figure this out." And then I ended up got them to hire somebody else, train them to run the disposal, and I just moved into the shop full time.
You're like, I don't want to do that shit. That
That
shit
sucks. Yeah.
You're like, that
Yeah.
sucks.
It was like the big open nasty pit.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It was fucking sucked.
Okay, so I've designed some of those.
I just
before.
needed a job though, really. So
Sorry, I've designed some of those, but like, do they really smell rank as shit?
So they can.
Because it's just standing water, so I feel like it's just gonna get nasty.
Or it gets us. I don't remember the exact name for it,
crude.
but
No.
it's like this nasty,
Yeah, because it's got all kinds of chemicals.
chunky
and-
black stuff they call BS. Actually, it stands for something I can't remember.
Bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much. We had to like skim that off the top, but
Yeah.
we'd sell that stuff too because we'd extract the oil from the water.
Okay.
and
So
then we'd wash the oil and sell that.
okay,
And we also sold the BS to somebody, and they would extract oil out of that as well.
goddamn,
Yeah.
leave not, want not.
And then we had an injection well.
Okay,
We shot the salt water back down.
back into the earth.
Yep.
Into
Mhm.
Mother Gaia.
Yep.
And she
It
was just
caused
like
all the earthquakes.
Yep. Calumet.
oh, yeah, he met.
Yeah.
Don't move out there.
Don't move out there. Where was it? Prague? Where was that? Was the other one? Was that
Yeah,
Prague? Where they
Prague.
were? Yeah, Prague. They were like, oh, the infant baby Jesus
That-
is all fucked up.
The company I work for, they have, I don't even remember how many whales they had.
Allegedly.
They have a bunch.
Yeah, I probably. But yeah,
they got a bunch.
Yeah, so you did that for a while.
Yeah.
And then
I got into painting because I was too cheap to pay somebody.
okay, what's the first thing you really painted?
That old Ford truck is kind of when I
Okay.
kind of learned. My
So-
dad's buddy.
Okay. High school.
Yeah.
All right. Your dad's
and
buddy,
then-
did he own like a body shop?
He
or-
did back in the day, and then
Okay.
he worked at Allstate with him. And actually, Steve owns a motorcycle shop now. It's called Santa Fe Customs. They do
Steve
paint.
Wool-
Oh, yeah.
Woolery?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Steve Woolery.
Really?
Yeah, he's kind of taught me how to paint.
Yeah, we
Nice.
know who
He's
the
awesome.
Wooler
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Steve.
Yeah,
Steve.
he's
is-
cool.
That's one of my dad's best friends.
Well, and then Steve and
Colton.
his
Oh.
wife. I'm trying to remember what she introduced herself as, but because she has a name,
Gloria.
Gloria.
Gloria. But what was it?
Glow.
Glow.
Glow, yeah.
I
Stephen
kept wanting.
Glow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, she was at the bike riders when we went with Law Tigers, and I kept wanting to be like, "What's up, Flo?" And I was like, "That is
Flo?
not right.
No, yeah.
Not right."
Then they were out at Edmond Bike Night that
They were.
weekend.
They were.
that week too. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just got that new shop and stuff.
Where's
Yeah.
their new shop at?
I'm not exactly sure, but I'm supposed to go up there with my dad because I think he's buying a bike from one of Steve's customers.
Oh, is he buying a trike?
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
somebody that brought a bike in for service.
Oh, okay.
And I think it was like her husband's or something.
Oh, okay, I did. So they work on everything up there.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought they just did the trikes and all that stuff. I should
No,
probably
I think
found
he
that out.
services people's services bikes
it
and
makes
stuff too.
sense.
But yeah, he builds
Yeah.
trikes.
Yeah, he's one of the premier trike builders
Yeah.
in the area
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like he does it right.
Yep.
Yeah, they're trike kits actually.
Yeah, like because they
It's
have their own
legit.
like kit that they do on it, and because it's
Mhm.
not cheap either. It's
No.
like actually really nicely done and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then his son Colton, he's a really good painter.
That's cool. So I could have called him.
Yeah, yeah. He can.
I mean, he's like, well, you'll see when you get it
Yeah.
on Wednesday.
Yeah, his son Colton.
I'm too lazy to do it again.
But
Yeah,
I got into it mostly because I was too cheap
yeah.
to fucking pay anybody.
And you also
so I painted my FXR was really the first one.
what color was it? Like a single stage paint?
Yeah, it was black with like a gold pearl over it, and it turned
Nice.
green because I had no fucking idea what I was doing. But it's fucking looks
Did it look
sick.
cool as
It
shit,
looked
though?
fucking sick.
You're like, I meant to do that.
Yeah.
It looks
Um,
sick as shit.
And then, yeah, I don't know. I painted like stuff here and there.
Yeah.
But like two-tone kind of stuff or
Were you doing like
single
Ralcan
colors.
or like?
no,
do you have
I
an air?
spray guns.
Okay,
yeah.
so you spray guns. So
yeah, I
you've
used my dad. I would go over to my dad's, use his garage.
been- how much overspray is in your garage?
Well, he has a 3-car garage, and we sectioned off,
Okay.
like built a
Ma-
wall. so
made,
he's
your-
got
made,
he's got
made a little tent where
It's
he
like his
kinda
little shop. so-
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
made one of those homemade tents out of PVC and
Yeah.
plastic.
What are you
tarp-
talking about?
Plastic.
Well, in his garage, we just spray stuff. in
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
there. Put a fan, open the door a little bit with a fan.
Right.
Yeah.
We did that where we put 3 box fans at the
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 box fans and 3
Filters.
Squirrel
the
cage.
filters.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then
we didn't even put filters.
we did that and we had a sprinkler.
Yeah.
Like spray one of the.
Like a mister.
Yeah.
Well, it was one of these sprinklers that you just like had it where it was hitting the top of those filters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try and
Really?
knock down
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
of
To knock down dust and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know who Steve Dolchis is? He's from like Roadkill and Hot Rod Garage and all that stuff. Dolchich. He paints a lot of really cool stuff, but he paints in his garage that way.
Yeah.
No fans.
Yeah.
Because he lives in like Bakersfield, so he's like
Yeah.
it's pretty much just a fucking heat booth, but like it's a
Right.
fucking dry
Shit.
booth.
Trying
yeah.
to hide it, probably.
Yeah, because he's just like, holy fuck. So he was like, yeah, I don't use any fans and shit. I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? But he does really amazing work for him.
Yeah. You
I'm-
can.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm over
like
here.
I don't have a real booth. I have one that I built with 2x4s and plastic.
So I meant to ask you this the other day. So whenever you get someone that's coming in that's like, I really want you to do this custom paint job, and they've
Yeah.
seen your work but not your shop yet.
Yeah.
Have you ever had someone come in and be like, nope, not you, and then leave?
No.
Okay.
They've all been like, wait, you do like
You do that
that's
here.
like
Well,
that's
not-
awesome that you
yeah, no
Yeah.
shit. Because like, I mean, I'm not like your garage is
Sounds
shop-
like you're talking shit on his shop. Is what it sounds like to me.
well,
No, I was just like it's
You should
basically
punch
the
him in the
bare
balls.
it's
Oh,
basically the
goddamn.
bare minimum.
yeah, like it's not.
I don't want to have to buy a full paint booth because then that would
Right.
take up my whole shop.
Well, and that's what I was like when I walked in. I was like, I've known a lot of guys that've gotten a lot. Like I know a dude in high school that used to paint shit with a fucking spray paint can. That was
Yeah.
like, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously you could tell, but prep, and then he would clear over
Yeah.
the top of it. It looked pretty fucking good. And
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
can make it look good.
yeah, like
They
it
make
was-
2K in rattle cans even.
Yeah, and he was like, man, it's just all about the prep and making sure you're. So there's this old black guy that painted in this fucking shed that looked like he was
Yeah.
making meth in it.
Yeah.
Probably
See,
did.
But then if I get a full booth, then I don't have an excuse to not paint cars all the time because I
Yeah.
don't want to paint cars.
Yeah,
I do one here and there.
that Impala that's in the garage right now, man.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
the first
I need
one
to start on that.
First one I
Yeah.
ever painted, I was about 14, and it was in a diesel shop,
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
in the corner, and
yeah.
my dad's like, "Paint it."
Paint it now.
I don't want to paint it.
But yeah,
Why?
I got into the custom stuff though. It's been about little less than 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a diesel mechanic for a pipeline construction company, and I got laid off during COVID.
Okay.
So,
Did you get unemployment and all that stuff?
oh yeah,
Okay, so like
that's how I didn't have anything to do. I was like, well, if I'm making $1,200 a week, not doing anything.
Okay, that's-
Chris with the dent shop.
yeah.
I was like, hey, you mind if I
Rent. That's
want to try and do some of this stuff? You know, I'd like YouTube and
right.
you know, and
That's-
I've always loved it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, go for it. And then that turned into, I just started leasing the extra bays. And,
Okay. And then that's where. So I was
and
wondering.
yeah. So I kind of, like, I've had help, like Sean, Southside.
Okay.
I
I don't know who that is, but sure.
Yeah.
Southside Sled, yeah.
I don't. Who?
Southside
What
Sled.
shop? What shop are you talking about?
Southside
Yeah,
Sled.
never even heard of them. No.
I know. every time
I've
they
never
have
been,
every
but-
time they have yard time, we're like, we need to go down there.
Yeah, we
Go-
always
go
fucking
down there.
miss.
It's fun.
Well, we've always had something else,
Oh,
Usually our
Like-
wives are like, yeah, by the way, no. And I'm
Oh,
like,
or
all right.
or it's been like I think
don't have one of
OFR
those.
weekend was
Yeah, it was one
yard
of them.
time,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it was like it's
He
always
just started
been
it back up.
yeah,
so.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I've been like, man, I really want to go down there.
Yeah.
I met some of them because of Mike Cook, but like
Yeah.
I didn't really like Paint Man Wilsner. I don't know if he works down there or just
Yeah, he
knows
does.
all. Okay.
Yeah.
So like he was cool and he was like, oh, you gotta come down there. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
literally every time you guys are doing it, I'm like in the middle of like not being able to do it. But
I tried to work for Sean at first too. He
Yeah.
was like, man, I don't really have a spot. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And then after sometime in that first year, he's like, oh, wow. Yeah. Hey, I need you to come down here. And I'm like, well, now I'm like,
Now I'm doing it on my own.
You're like,
but I've like gone down there and helped when they're like really busy
right.
and like they're building their shop truck.
What shop truck do they have?
They did that one where his cousin built the whole chassis out of tubing.
Oh, that's cool.
Like,
yeah,
Is this like a square body truck or what is it?
It's a 68, and they cut down the long bed to a short bed and made it a dually. It's a unibody.
Oh.
They made it unibody, so
Okay,
the bed
yeah.
and the cab are all one.
Right.
Full
Slick
air ride. Like they had somebody design the chassis, and then
That
he
you know
built
what's
it.
that's
And the truck's pretty cool. But
the
while they were working on it, I was painting like a bunch of just
panels and shit for him or whatever.
like customers' bikes, like just a bunch of stuff that people needed painted.
You're just like I can do honeycombs on this.
Yeah.
To date, what is your biggest? Do you have any questions for him so far?
No.
Okay, good. I was just going to make sure before I ran over you. So what's the bike you painted that like the biggest paint job, most custom you've done, and did it go out as a show bike?
Not really any show bikes. That blue, it's a blue Road Glide with like I think it's a 23 wide front wheel. It's all on air, all that stuff.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
He
Yeah,
takes
I
it to
remember that.
shows, but it's not
Yeah.
his show
Yeah.
bike.
Okay.
It wins sometimes.
Yeah. And like, does he have like the old man placard that has all the shit on it he's done and it says paint?
He
by
does
you?
with his pedal car. I want to say I did a pedal car for his daughter that I painted.
Is this Lumen?
no,
I was like,
No,
does
it's,
Lumen have this? And I don't know
but a
about
bunch
this?
of but a
his
bunch
name's
of the
Zane.
guys have pedal cars.
His
Huh?
name's Zane Davidson.
I was like,
That's his Impala in the shop too.
oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that
I've painted lots of stuff for him.
he's a good. He's a good repeat customer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he always has stuff. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
When you get to a point in life, it's kind of like us, where I always have stuff. I can't afford for you to touch my stuff.
Right.
Where I was like, how much are you gonna charge me for this? I got this.
I'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
buddy, I
hey man.
need my Land
Yeah.
Cruiser painted.
No,
How
you
you
don't.
doing?
No, you fucking don't. You just need you need it running. He just
and then I need it painted.
yeah.
Yeah.
He brought this. So we went up to. So he got this Land Cruiser from his brother.
Yeah.
We brought it down here because I was like, I'll help you work on it because it's kind of weird and all that shit. And I'd be like, hey man, you got Fridays off. Why don't you come over?
I want to hear the story
Yeah.
because it was what really happened was I was like, let's put it at my house. You know,
If I'm
we
gonna
could put
work
it at
on
my
it,
house because I have tools, and I'm like, I have tools,
yeah,
but I have tools. We can put it at my house.
I have better tools. I have
And
all the
then
tools
I'm
I
like,
need.
2 years later, I'm like, yeah.
It was 1 year, I think. I don't
No,
think
it's been 2. Yeah,
I feel like
it's been
not.
2.
Marriage counseling between the two of us. Is
Yeah.
always, it's always good
I'm
because
telling
Like me and Blake.
yeah, yeah. Dude, so do you want to know some really fucking funny shit? So like, so we were helping with EBN and doing all that stuff for so long, And then the guy that was running Club Style at the time kept tagging me all this shit because I'm a local motorcyclist and I'm like not an influencer, but I just know a ton of people in different markets than what he had. So he starts he starts messaging me all this shit, and I was like, well, it's at the pump. Like, you should come down, Spanky. Like, let's go hang out. He's like, I don't fucking know about that shit. I'm not doing it. Are you still looking it up?
What?
Anyway, so he's trying to figure out how wrong I am about it. So I finally,
I don't know what you're talking about.
He comes down with me to one, and then when it moved to the Flycatcher, the guys were all like, man, these guys are real cool, but I think they're a couple. And they like, they were like, what was it, like 3 months?
This is now still the running.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was surprised at how
accompanying they were to
open they were, because they were like not like
get out of here, gays, but they were like, but they for like a hot minute thought that we were a couple. And I was like, nah, man, I'm good. Like, I would get something better looking. Love you. He's like, try, but
I'm not the one that everybody thinks has the problem.
Shut the fuck up. My uncle started the gay pride parade. It's just running through the family. So okay, because like that's one of the things I really wanted you to be on about was taking that big shift and jump, going from you've had a steady job. Now that was why I asked about you got some unemployment and all that stuff.
Right.
Was it how long did you ever have you got that hit that point? Because I'm self-employed now and all that stuff, and like there's that month where you're like, man, I don't know if we're gonna be able to pay all my bills this month.
Oh, there's been lots of
that. Yeah. Okay. So like what do you have suggestions, help? Or do you just get through it?
$20 is $20.
South Robinson's always open, buddy.
Well, actually starting like the business account and stuff helped.
Yeah.
And then I try to take like 15% of every job I've done and put it into just savings.
That's big brain move right there.
Yeah. That's actually a baller move, because there's a lot of people
that can't do that.
They can't do that.
Yeah, they can't. And I think even if you can do like 5% or 1%, any
just try to
percentage,
put something
away.
Yeah.
Because like the way that my taxes are structured, I pay it off at once every year. But I also look at it every quarter, so I'm kind of keeping an eye on it, so it doesn't come up and eat you and like eat you. Yeah, but like at the same time, like, because you want to make sure all your shit's paid. Because how do they fucking get Capone? Taxes. What's been one of the largest hurdles as a small business owner like that you faced? And did you take a COVID loan?
No, I wasn't able to.
That means he looked.
Well, no, I hadn't started the LLC and stuff. Right. I just did it through my name. I don't think like the first year I didn't claim taxes on it. Allegedly, everybody paid cash. So,
well, you weren't really doing any. You were doing a side fun project shit at that point. So yeah, it's totally fine.
I mean, I still show a loss every year. But,
that's the number one I tell everybody. I was like, hey, if you need to buy something for your house, you should have your house as something that your business can touch.
Yeah,
because if your business touched it.
Yeah.
So what's been your best? Actually, your best project, or
I was like
the biggest one
you've
for me?
done. Well, yeah, the one that you're kind of the most proud of, and like did you actually
the one when Harley came to me and had me do a brand new bike, do that brand new CVO.
Right.
And that actually wasn't the plan at first. It was supposed to be like a street bob, a new Softail street bob.
All right.
And then he's like, well, no, let's do the CVO. I'm like, what?
What?
Nice.
Okay, you're gonna have me mess up this.
Well, because the CVO, I don't have one, but CVO is already custom painted, right?
They have a different,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
they have a cut because it's what does CVO stand for? Custom vehicle order.
Custom vehicle operations.
Okay, so they already have custom shit done to it,
right?
And every year is different.
Yep.
And then you put your own stank on it.
Yeah.
What was your stank that you put on it?
They had like a color scheme they wanted. They wanted to have orange, white, black, and the job they wanted to do was almost a throwback to a different CVO.
Okay.
And I hated it, so I just didn't do that.
Real fucking artist right there. He was like, get fucked. Also, here's your invoice.
Yeah. So, I just did what I wanted, but used their color scheme.
Okay.
And when I got like half the parts done, I was like, well, to minimize maybe these getting messed up while I'm still working on the rest of the stuff.
Take it back?
I took stuff down there,
and
they're like, oh. Well, they're like, shit, we love it.
And you're like,
Nice.
weird.
And then they started putting it together and they sold it before I was even done painting the rest of the stuff.
Was it Thunder that did this for you?
Yeah, it was Fort Thunder.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so had you known them before? Did you have a working relationship with
I knew
them?
Will
Okay.
when he took over as GM.
Okay. And then so that was because he had a couple people paint bikes, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he had Manny do one.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
Manny.
that Manny did the one that looked like a airplane.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
looked like a throwback to
The World War II
the World War II.
P-51.
Yeah, with
and
the
then
pinup girl.
yeah,
And I did some work for I've done work for like Harley World too, repair stuff.
yeah.
Well,
you're
right down
close.
the street.
Yeah, I
And
like
Chris
yeah.
was doing dent repair stuff for him.
Oh yeah. that
So in
makes
turn,
sense.
he's, hey, do you know anybody that paints? And I was
I got
standing
a
right
guy.
there, like, oh yeah, I got you. So I fixed some stuff for them too.
Yeah. So you had the CVO, you did. It was sold. So how who was the first person you're texting about that? Like, can't believe this fucking just happened.
Probably Chris and Sean.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, check this out.
Blake.
Yeah.
you know.
He
My
was
dad.
Yeah. And so was it because every time you start a business and you're kind of really fleshing it out and all that stuff, there's going to be the moments where like, am I doing this the right way and all that shit? Or,
Yeah.
And like that's probably super reassuring.
So
Yeah.
how much artistic freedom do you usually get?
Pretty-
Do you have people that'll come in and say,
There's
"This
people
is
that
how
want-
I have an idea"? Go.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you on my
usually how it
or
goes.
like
yeah, forgot to tell you
or
about if
I
you haven't
want-
painted, you've got artistic freedom. I said
Yeah.
it in the text message.
Yeah.
or they're like, "I want blue. Do what you want."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's usually how they're they'll want like certain things in it maybe.
Right.
But yeah, for the most part, it's
Pretty much. Well,
Pretty
we're
much.
coming to you because we like your work.
well,
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I had to step over 4 paint booths before I got to your place. So
Yeah.
I was on the south side before I got to your place. I could have
Right.
dropped it off right like next door to where I picked it up at.
Right.
So.
And
Hey, we. Yeah.
another thing, like I try to be pretty fair with people because I'm just one. It's just me there. I'm not having to pay somebody
Yeah.
5
Right,
people and don't have like crazy overhead, so I can work with people
And do
people. There
yeah.
have been people try to take advantage, like, whoa, well,
I
can only pay this, and then they pull up in a brand new Ford Raptor R, and I was like,
You're
what
like,
the
oh,
right.
fuck?
well,
now I will tell you, I was when I
I'm like, no wonder you don't have money for painting your motorcycle.
yeah,
man.
because you've got this all wrapped up in this fucking car
Yeah.
truck.
when I got
Man.
when I had my Sportster painted, I was shocked at how much like a tank and 2 tins,
yeah,
like what
Right.
kind of the going average is, and it's
Yeah.
like
I do like
what
I do like $1,600 minimum for three
right.
parts solid.
I think
color. Then it goes up from there.
Yeah, it was like a lot of them around here when I had it. It was
I don't
like
feel bad about mine.
$2
now.
grand.
Yeah.
It was like $2 grand, 2,500 for,
Yeah.
or like a full like a bagger. People are like, oh, that's $4 grand, and I'm like,
Yeah,
you
like,
can paint a car for that, and they're
Yeah.
like,
shit, a color change on the car, $8 grand minimum.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Well, and
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
like that used to be the thing. Like when I was going through auto body, they were like, if
Mako.
you're jamming they're like, if you're taking a car to Mako, you're not getting it jammed. Like
No,
they're not opening the hood, the doors,
Yeah,
or the
window.
truck.
yeah.
your window might be down a little bit. They don't tape off that great. Then you're
yeah.
the inside's gonna
Yeah.
have
Dude,
a nice dusting of whatever color you're getting it painted.
When I used to street race, there was this guy that had Mako over here by Will Rogers, Wiley Post, and he had him paint it. And
Yeah.
I was like, man, this thing looks pretty good for them. I was like, did you get the top tier? And he's like, no, I taped it and papered
Yeah.
it. So I did it all in the fucking parking lot and then pushed it in there and
Yep.
then let them fucking paint it after that. He's like,
For
that's the only
$400.
Yeah, he was like, that's the only way that shit didn't look fucked off.
Yeah.
And he was like, I wet sanded that motherfucker in the parking lot too. Pick the
See,
shit up.
see, at that point, dude, just hit Harbor Freight, buy you the fucking gun, and
Yeah.
do it yourself.
The,
That's how
the
you get the
biggest part
runs.
is the compressor.
yeah,
And a dryer and yeah.
But yeah, having the air volume that's the biggest thing. Like to do a whole car.
right.
Yeah. It's and
I know there's people that are like, I could do it with a 29 gallon. I'm like, yeah, but you're nah.
you're gonna do it.
You need like at least 60 just to have the volume.
Right. Well, that's like,
Like
so
if you're just doing motorcycles,
you can get away with a lot.
yeah,
with
you
a
can
little.
like
Like-
they have LVLP guns
Mm-hmm.
that are low volume, low pressure.
And they spray
you're
pretty
not-
well.
Yeah,
And,
I use one. I have a couple that
Yeah.
I use.
Yeah.
that
Here and
Ricky
there.
no. I said the Ricky D shop, but no. But I mean, like that's one of the things is like I think a lot of people get stuck in their own head about because that was one of the things I thought was very fascinating about you was that I asked you like, well, I haven't been painting that long. I haven't been doing this that long. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
clearly you're very creative. And like, were you the kid that was in school always doodling in a notebook and shit?
No, I can't draw for shit.
Okay, well that just shot that one out the fucking window. But like, obviously, you're very creative and you do a lot of cool shit. He was like, my hands don't work.
But
that
yeah,
way.
I for the most part, it's been just kind of trial and error.
Right. And it gets you pretty far. But like, I think that's one of those cool things is like we know quite a few people that they could do stuff if they just tried. Yeah. And like, I think it would be really helpful.
I've always kind of been that way, like working on,
You're the kind of guy that
I can kind of pick stuff up and
yeah. You're like, I figured out why my toilet's not flushing.
Yeah.
You're like, I YouTubed it, but
it's like, well, especially now these days.
Fucking YouTube University.
YouTube University is.
That's how
amazing.
I saw a video of a guy doing like tutorials, Time Warp Customs,
Mm-hmm.
custom paint in Utah. He painted my brother's bike actually.
Okay.
But yeah, he started posting YouTube stuff, and I was like, man, I think I could fucking do that.
Yeah.
Right.
What's the worst that happens?
Painted my $700 helmet that I just got.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh, that came out pretty good. Then just did my bike right after.
Yeah. So you painted your own stuff for a while.
Yeah.
And then when you started getting ready to like open up the shop and all that, who's your first customer? Do you remember?
Donnie was one of the first people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his FXR.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot you painted that for him.
Yeah.
So like, were you shitting like you just like this?
No.
Like, got it. No problem. He's the coolest, calmest motherfucker I think we've ever had the goddamn podcast.
Just can't get in like a big hurry.
Yeah. Just real slow and steady, methodical.
I mean, I still run paint. I mean,
what's the trick for when you run paint? We need to know.
I let it. Well, if it's still wet, there's tricks like you can take some masking tape, kind of lay it over the run and
kind of take it off,
pull it off, and then you just spray a little more over it. You're gonna have to like wet sand and buff that spot, of course.
Right.
Either that, you let it dry. They make little tools.
Okay.
To manipulate it.
Yeah, I just scrape, but you can just take a razor blade.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen the razor blade before.
That's what I do. I just scrape with a razor blade, then just wet sand and buff it.
Man, like every time
my luck, I'd start shaking and be like, all the way. Yeah.
I mean, well, I take the corners of my razor blade,
right,
and I rub it on the concrete real quick so it doesn't have those two really sharp.
Yeah. That's the pro tip right there.
Yeah.
All right, that's that he's like, I've been through this a couple times.
But and if you're not running the paint, then you're not. I don't think. I mean, here and there,
you're not spraying enough.
Yeah.
Because like at pretty much every paint job I've looked at some point or
there's
another,
like a fine line of getting it where like you don't have a ton of orange peel.
Yeah.
Spray enough for it to like flow out
and not orange peel, which for the people that don't know, an orange peel, it looks literally like an orange is on your paint.
A lot of that also that comes from, I mean, material shrinking.
Yeah.
So
do you work with a lot of
cheaper stuff, like cheaper clears and stuff will do it worse
than the nicer stuff? Yeah. Do you do a lot of, is it all your stuff water based?
I don't do very I might use like Kratex.
Okay.
Here and there it's like airbrush stuff.
All right.
It's water based, but no, I use solvent.
Okay, so yours is all solvent based stuff. So
spraying water like that's more like production body shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to have like a baking booth
and all that stuff.
You don't have to, but
you want to just go roll it outside?
It would make my life way harder.
Who you getting most of your paint from?
I mean the candies and all that stuff. I kind of buy them. I don't know, like Candy Shop.
Yeah.
Tropical Glitz, Tamco. Who else do I have? Did Spade. There's all kinds of companies that make stuff like that. But if it's just regular base coats and stuff, I just run down to Clark's wholesale.
Yeah.
And now I can't even remember the line of paint that they have.
You're like, it's PPG base? I don't know.
No.
It's called Krylon.
Like, I don't
Krylon.
I don't like Nason.
Okay.
And PPG stuff, of course, that's good stuff. But.
Yeah. Who is one of the painters that you aspire and look up to? Local.
I've always like Boosted Brad.
Okay.
He does like some.
I like his stuff.
Favorite stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like everybody's stuff. Like
you can just go ahead and call him out now. Who do you hate the most? No, I'm kidding.
Hanson.
This has been an elaborate
Hanson
prank
and
on
I do.
Hanson.
Hanson and I do completely different things.
Yeah. Shut up.
He
dude.
does.
He does collision repair.
Yeah, he does
Yeah.
a lot of collision.
Yeah.
No, he does.
But
good.
he's done
Yeah.
people's bikes and stuff, and they
Yeah,
look good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Like technically speaking, he's a way better painter than I am. I already know.
I'm just fucking with him.
we refuse to bring him on the podcast. He listens to every episode as much as he says he doesn't. But
Technically speaking, I can pretty much guarantee he's a way better painter than I am.
well, and that's one of the things I thought that was so interesting because I think between knowing both of you guys is like on a technical level, he's really
way better.
He's way
Yes.
better on that. But
Well, I mean, it was like when we were talking to him a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about the problems like in his shop with like
The
his
dryer. Yeah.
You know
It's
how much
still
water he
yeah.
had in his system, and it's like he's cranking out what did he say, 50 cars a month?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean,
he had
it-
like
like an
had like 6
insane-
cars to paint.
Yeah,
He's always got
yeah,
stuff.
like
I'm
like holy shit.
yeah, he's
dude.
always backed up and
in a
racked up.
day or something. It was like a
Like,
day or two.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
What
what?
the fuck? Like, dude, I just signed entire subdivisions.
Like,
in
dude,
like 2
I
weeks.
painted a tank in a fender day and got sick of it.
So when I came to drop off the tank, I didn't feel bad about how long I hung out because I was like,
No.
he works like I work, which is not really working.
Yeah.
I was like, because like Andy,
But then I screw myself. Then I'm there till fucking 11 o'clock at night.
oh, you're doing pretty good if you're getting out at 11. I'm pretty famous about I'll be working till like 3-4 o'clock in the morning and then
yeah.
go to sleep because
Yeah.
I'm like I'm in my office and like
Yeah, shout out
Yeah.
to Chris. He's got a couch up in the front office.
right.
I've had to stay
A couple
overnight.
times.
Like, well, all right, well, I sprayed these parts. I need to let them sit for like 3 hours so I can just move them.
Yeah, dry time,
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go run up there, catch me a nap.
dry time, and I'm gonna be back.
Yeah,
Player pimp, I've got this shit.
At 4 in the morning. Then I'm finally spraying the other stuff that I have to deliver at 1 in the afternoon. the next day.
You're
how-
like, how long do I have till I
Yeah.
have to get started?
That would be
Yeah.
like I used to do some stuff for like Linex Customs. My buddy was a salesman there, and so they're pulling trim off of cars,
right.
black out all the chrome stuff,
all that shit.
and it seemed like every time they did it, they had a normal painter.
Mhm.
It's like he'd be sick.
Always.
He was an older guy,
Yeah, he's
so they're like, "Hey, we need this," and I'm like, "Fuck."
he's like I need this yesterday, and when I say yesterday, I
But
need
they
it
would pay
two-
me what I wanted at least,
Which works.
Yeah, so that was fine.
That's always the best client. It's when
Yeah.
you say I need a bunch of money because this is fucking ridiculous. And
Yeah.
you go, 100%.
Like, you want it done in 2 days, man? There's 42 pieces of trim.
You're fucking assholes for this
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
So
Yeah, because like, it's one of the things I thought was fascinating is like when we really wanted to do the podcast, we wanted our friends that were on, obviously, because it's all bullshit and like we normally do.
right,
But it's also people in the local community or national. We've had a
Yeah.
couple people on, but like
yeah.
that. I've been in it for 4 years at this point, riding street bikes again.
Yeah.
Like, and so many people. Yeah, that thing just tighten it down right there. There you go. You'll
There we
figure it out.
go.
All right, I know.
I didn't want to knock it over.
Yeah. It's got a weight at the bottom of it. It'll be
Oh,
fine.
okay.
But
yeah.
I bet that weight, but not this one up here. So like we wanted to have people on that were like really cool and local and that do a lot of things, either motorcycle, car related, and all that
Right.
stuff. But I mean, like, I don't know how I had never fucking heard of. Had you heard of Cal before?
No.
No.
I mean, but there, to be fair, there's a lot of people that paint
Right.
in the city, but there's so many different aspects of painting.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you said, there's collision, there is custom, there is just, kind of the hobbyist. And,
Right.
it's so like, the one I knew was like Manny, just
Yeah,
because
I just knew
I've
Manny.
known-
Yeah,
I've
everybody
known
knows Manny.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Manny.
It's
He's
funny
been
as fuck
around.
because I'll be like, this guy Manny, and they're like, yeah, I know who
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I don't advertise all that well.
Yeah. Do you have
Right.
business cards?
I don't even think I have any. No, I didn't order more because I'm kind of going through changing my LLC at the moment.
Okay.
So I didn't want to order more stuff
He's
for
like,
the old
my
one.
checking and
Yeah.
my savings are different. Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to order stuff for the old one. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So I just give people my phone number.
dude. How? Okay. So when I came up with my LLC, it took me a minute because
Yeah.
I had they were like, okay, it's Thursday evening. You have until Monday morning,
Yeah.
and that's basically.
I don't even remember how I thought of the first one I did. It's the speed deck.
Yeah, I was wondering because I kept seeing that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
how that
and I
even
was
came
like-
up, but
I
yeah, I'm changing. I'm actually going to have 2. That way I can split it.
divide and conquer.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
like,
going to do Cal Boggs Designs and what's the shops on 10th Street. So it's going to be Dime Street Customs.
ooh,
Nice.
You've heard it here first, exclusive.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I already have the LS. I just have
Exclusive.
Exclusive.
I just gotta
You and those
finish
fucking buttons.
Yeah.
changing everything over.
Going to the fucking state and doing all that shit.
Well, I've got all that stuff.
Oh,
I
nice.
just-
So
You
already
got to
got the
change
hard part.
bank accounts. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 different LLCs. One of them is just real easy, and the other one, like, everyone's like, "What's it stand for?" I was like, "I design everything."
Yeah.
Technologies.
Yeah.
It was real easy to put
No.
technology at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the custom stuff is cool. Like I said,
Yeah.
the
It's way more fun than
the-
just painting the side of a car.
Yeah.
Shit. I mean,
no, it is, and
yeah.
I can like the pulling an what you looking at something and having an idea of like what you want, and then pulling that out and
Yeah.
actually getting it from
That's the hard. Honestly, that's the hardest part is thinking of stuff to do.
right,
Yeah.
right.
You kind of
Well,
just have
and
to
then-
look at
And then
pull
keeping
stuff from everywhere.
keeping that in like shit. You know, now you start doing something that pops off, and
Yeah.
everybody's like, "I want that, I want that, I
Right.
want that," and you're like, "Man, I keep going until." You know,
Until it
how long am I
fades
going to
out,
ride this
yeah.
horse?
Right.
You know, and
Right.
you know, where it's like catches on where everybody else is like, fuck, that is really cool. And now everybody's
Right.
doing it. And so,
Well, like the 2 in a row, I did that CVO, and I just cut out on like just sheets of little baby Harley emblems,
Yeah.
yeah.
and like put those on some of the panels and faded it out. Oh yeah, then the next guy. I want
want
I
that.
saw that.
I want that.
And you're like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, God, I don't peel all those little fuckers off. Fuck.
Yeah, like you're like, can I get a spray sheet of this?
And then Blake,
And then somebody comes up and says,
wanted
I want a
fuck.
tank that says fuck, 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 fuck.
Yeah,
all-
with little baby.
half inch. It was like, I think half inch
letter-
tall and about an inch and a half long.
Yeah,
Where it's
so
like,
I don't
fuck.
know, but he was fucking murder.
the first
Peeling
time,
those and then not fucking messing up the paint. Either
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you're peeling the vinyl back off.
you're like, I fucking. So he said he was like, I wrecked that bike, and I was like, Are you okay?
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
went. He didn't tell me for like a week.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he said. So I was.
He's, I don't want to make you mad. Yeah, you ready to be mad at me? I was like,
You
"What'd
ready to
do?"
be mad at me?
I said, what'd you do? Wreck your bike? It's your fucking money. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. It's. I mean, I'm like, dude, I've done some shit like where I've like done off all this crazy shit for people. Where like,
Yeah.
oh, I fucked it up. I'm like, no, that was your problem. So
Yeah,
now I get to
sounds
unfuck
like
it.
yeah.
You're gonna pay me twice, or sometimes a third time.
Yeah, or like my buddy Tyler Nolan.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
The other tats by Tyler.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
right,
Nolan,
right.
Yeah.
I painted his Sportster for him. We traded out for like cash and tattoos, which I love doing like trade out work.
Yeah. Bartering
Also.
is the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't very long before he's like, "Man, would you be mad if I traded this in?" I'm like, "It's your bike."
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like as long as I got paid for it.
And now guess what? I'm painting stuff for his other bike now. So,
you're like, this is the best customer base ever.
Yeah.
They just keep coming
keep
back.
trading them in.
Yeah, fucking get another one, man.
Yeah.
I think you should look at this bike next.
That's
You're
another-
like, I got a whole another
That's
arm that needs a sleeve.
Yeah.
that's another one of my next plans. Also, I want to start buying like 10 sets,
Yeah,
paint them
So-
and raffle them, whatever.
Yeah.
Then
Oh,
I
okay.
can take that and buy more. And
yeah. Do some
So-
waffles.
yeah,
Yeah.
So the guy that I ended up getting for my Sportster,
yeah,
we ended up it was he had him done, and it was because what I wanted, and was like looking around and find a guy, and we did a 10 swap.
Yeah.
So it was like
I did that with my
$1,200
Dyna, too.
bucks, and
Yeah.
my 10s as long as he was like as long as they're OEM Harley 10s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'll do $1,200 bucks
think
and
that's-
swap.
I traded the guy my tins off my Dyna and then like a couple grand or something.
Yeah, yeah. And I was
Right.
like, yeah, that was way easy.
Except I should have taken my fuel. That whole thing, I got kind of screwed on that. I should have taken my fuel pump and all that shit out of my tank.
Yeah, because it's all.
Because
Yeah.
he told me,
Yeah.
he's like, this one, he's like, I have the new pump for it and stuff. That's all it needs. Nah, the sending unit is fucked up.
Right. It's always that way.
Fuck.
Well, and like I don't want to fuck you, but at the same time, like I know how my shit worked.
Yeah.
Like I know my shit
Yeah.
worked okay.
Yeah.
Or I
Yeah,
knew that-
mine just had a brand new pump in it. Mine worked.
right, and you're like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And
And then I got it going. I got it going right before we went to Fast Life, and I didn't even have time. Like, I got it to start. I think.
I was like, were
didn't-
you at
but
Fast Life this year? How fucked up was I?
No, I didn't
No.
have it this year. But I just hauled the bike in my truck,
Mm-hmm.
and Blake was going too, and he's like, "Well, fuck, no, I have to ride by myself." So we threw his bike in the back. I got like had to fill my bike up with gas in the back of the truck. Went to start it, and the quick connect, of course. The
Right.
O-rings were bad, and so
You're
it's
like,
spraying
pouring
fuel.
Fuck.
And I tried to fix it at Fast Life, and then ended up not even getting the bike out of the back of the truck.
Because you're like, oh, it just looks cool now. Was it in the
Yeah.
C10?
Yeah,
At least
but
you look cool.
It didn't even have cool paint on it because I just traded my tins for a stock set.
Oh yeah, so you're just over there. It's like, oh yeah, no, I just bought this.
Yeah.
They just, they're waiting for my vest to come in.
At that point,
Harley
we were just
Davidson.
camping.
Yeah, you're just having a good
So-
time. Yeah, because like you didn't take anything to OFR. I know you took the.
I just took the pit
cat-
bike.
Yeah, I was gonna say the pitter, the little pitter patter.
And let's not forget the AC. That
Yeah.
was baller move.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me charge my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
dang, I meant to bring that fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he has your fan. I don't know who has my chair, but he has your fan.
I think I have the chair.
Do you have the chair?
I think so.
That was the best $15 chair I've ever bought.
Yeah.
For one night of use.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them at the shop, so one of them is probably yours.
I don't give a shit. I was like,
Friday we'll go down.
yeah.
we'll go
Yeah,
to the shop.
Friday you will.
Because I haven't been to the shop, so we'll go to
Yeah.
the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, because and we'll go get tacos.
Yeah.
Because we have the best.
Always down.
Ooh.
How were your tacos after?
Sanchez.
Ooh, dude. The nice.
Takir Sanchez is that's
Yeah.
the best one in the city.
Yeah. That's like a half mile from the shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not far.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing was too is like Andrew's over there hanging out and hadn't seen Andrew
Oh yeah,
for a little
because
bit.
you're over on the south side of
Yeah.
10th,
Yeah.
just past Meridian,
Yep.
right there by.
Yeah.
I know. where
You
you're
see
at.
the
The
OKC Dent Shop?
Clay
Yeah.
place and
Keep talking
Dent
for a
Pla-
second.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I know. I know
yeah.
exactly where you're at.
Yeah,
so.
it's at
We're
least,
by the
at least
AutoZone.
from Dent,
Dent
Shop.
shop.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. And I
Where are you
think-
going? Oh, he's gone.
Gotta go pee.
Is his little gerbil ladder?
But yeah, it's fun for the most part, I guess.
Yeah.
This whole thing.
I mean, and you know what? You're the thing of it is you're having fun. You're making money, and you know
sometimes.
but you're having fun.
Yeah.
You know, it could be I hate my fucking life. I hate my
Yeah.
job, and
Yeah.
it's like you've worked a lot harder for a lot less,
Yeah.
and so I don't know.
Yeah. But not having a boss is cool. There's probably times I maybe need a boss.
Right? keep you on track. That's the
But-
procrastination part is the one that I'm like
Yeah.
I having to make myself like okay, I gotta actually get this done and do
Then
some
I'm
shit.
bad about like I'll overbook myself
Yeah.
and then have 3 people want I want my stuff. No,
Right,
don't
right.
want my
I need it
stuff.
now.
Oh,
I need it
damn
now.
Yeah. Those times suck, stress you out. If you have problems with stuff, like you have your deadline coming up, and then all of a sudden you start having problems
Right.
with the paint, and oh god, like that stuff.
Yeah,
will
yeah.
get you.
That'll stress you out.
Oh yeah,
You feel better?
Yeah.
Why are you so red and
I'm always
sweaty?
ready. What are you talking about?
it's because he sat down and pushed real hard.
I mean, I guess.
I just rocketed that piss out of my mouth. So I didn't. So
He sits to pee.
It's more ergonomic that way.
I do.
Yesterday,
I sit down, but I face the back of the toilet.
dude, no
That
shit.
way you can set your phone on it.
And
It makes
you
so
can eat
much
a bowl of cereal when you get up in the morning and you're blowing up the toilet.
Yeah.
I no shit watched I walked into a bathroom.
I'm not-
truck stop, and this guy is doing that at a toilet. And I
Yeah,
was like,
probably watching YouTube.
I was like, what in the fuck, man? He's like, what? I'm like, that's weird as shit, dog. Don't do
Hey,
that.
growing up, one of my buddy's dads had like the like the little TV tray things like you use at the
Uh-huh.
couch.
Oh my
But there was
God.
always one in the bathrooms of their house. I'm like,
Why is it here? What the fuck?
Holds
is
my Playboy.
Like, dude, my dad will sit in there for an hour and a half. He'll take food in there. I'm like, that's disgusting.
What?
Yeah.
No.
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 So when I was growing up, my dad worked for FedEx.
Yeah.
And so he was out doing deliveries for the longest time.
Oh man, that's got to be rough when you have to use a restroom.
Well, and so he was, dude, Northern Edmond at that point.
You know what
Yeah.
most truck drivers do? They get a can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
well,
shouldn't say most
I
truck
kept
drivers.
Gatorade bought when
Just-
I worked at NOV.
Just fucking animals in
Yeah.
a can and open it up. Yes, I'm talking about you, Nate. And gonna just like whip the dick out and piss in a can.
right
Yeah.
here. I was
Right
like,
here.
we have a bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost an ensuite for you.
Yeah.
And he just looks surprised.
He was like, why would I not use the can? So when you worked at NOV, you had a Gatorade bottle?
I would keep like the big Gatorade bottles because
Yeah.
we're driving out into the middle of nowhere
Oh yeah, yeah.
What
and
was,
usually running behind,
yeah. 'cause
so
you-
like don't
Yeah.
have time to stop and pee.
you're like, how do I roll the window down?
How
and
do I
piss out?"
save 4 minutes
Legit
from
like,
being late to a drilling rig
Right.
and, this
Yeah.
company and getting yelled at by this company mate?
I had to take a urine break, and
Yeah.
was that or my
It's
pants?
bad if you had a shit though.
Oh, so
Like it's Sunday in these little towns. There's nothing open.
no, and then you're like,
Yeah.
do I shit behind
Back
this
roads.
gas station?
Yeah.
You just go back road and pull over by the ditch. I just stand on like the steps of my truck and hold on the steering wheel.
Or you learn you put
a Sandridge guy pulled up one time, and I didn't hear him pull up, and he was like walked around the side of my truck. Was like, oh god.
Well, yeah, that's what he said. Was oh god.
No, him. He's like Jesus, man. Poor guy.
How close did he get?
Like, worse than I was like 2 miles from the drilling rig I had to be at, but I just couldn't wait anymore.
Yeah, you were like,
I went to the ditch on the other side. That way my driver's side door was, at least towards the grass. I wasn't in the middle of the road or anything.
No,
But-
you're not an animal. You're not a monster.
Yeah. He came like walk around the side of my truck to make sure I was okay. Like, holy
Why is there so much corn?
But that was a good one.
That's pretty good.
That was some wild times back then.
Do you have any
The
other
NOV
good,
days.
Do you have any other good stories out of that?
What, NOV?
Yeah. Can you think of anything real fast? Okay, while you're thinking, so when I was younger, I thought everyone had a TV in their bathroom because my dad, when he worked for FedEx, didn't get to shit until he got home.
Yeah.
And he'd get home. He'd go to work at he'd leave
just
the house.
hide in there.
He'd leave at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
and he'd get home at 7, 8 o'clock at night. He'd be in the bathroom for an hour.
Jesus.
Yeah, and he's just shitting.
This
He's-
is a fucking woosah time.
Yeah.
yeah, dude. He was just like, oh man. So we had a little, TV that's like the little 10-inch TV.
Yeah.
I remember when I was super little, we had
Got
one
the-
that was like 4-inch, and it was a
Yeah,
boombox.
a little
and-
black,
black
and
and
white.
white.
Yeah. And it had the radio on
Yep.
it also,
Yeah.
so it was like the emergency.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was his.
Yeah.
That was his shit TV.
Everybody had one of those.
But it had the setup for cable. We always had cable as far as that back I could remember, and he always had cable in the bathroom. So
That's hilarious.
I remember and it was not uncommon in my neighborhood for most people's families' bathroom to have a TV in it, which is
Really?
weird to think about now.
Some of my rich friends, like their
Yeah.
parents had a TV
yeah.
in their bathroom, maybe.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to throw out here.
Well, no, I
It's
fucking yeah,
We
it's-
had TVs in every room. Rich.
yeah, well, we did have a TV in every room. I don't really know how we were that rich, but anyway, so I remember when I was 17, 18, I'm talking about this TV in the bathroom, and everyone's like, "What? The fuck?"
Rich?
And I was like, "No, man, I grew up poor as shit." Like I tell them where I lived.
They're like, yeah, no, you didn't.
And I was like, I mean, he'd watch TV in that motherfucker. Like there was one day he was in there for 3 hours watching
Yeah.
TV, and I was like,
Damn, your legs are falling asleep in there?
yeah, dude, no shit. The longest I've ever shit was an hour and a half, and I was like, the whole time I gotta get out of here,
That's only because I fell asleep. No.
dude. This morning was
There's not. There's too many. It's like there's almost too many stories from the NOV days. We were young.
yeah.
Like who gives
Who gives a shit?
22-year-old kids this much money,
Dude.
and like a company truck and
Just fucking shit up.
yeah, we were on call 24/7. So it's like the word's like you'd be out. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. You're fucking
Fucking hammered.
yeah, and you get called out. Yeah, they need you, and you're like,
I am deaf.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I like all my buddies that worked at oil field. They always have wild shit, like shitting out the side of their truck.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah,
Jesus
I'll
Christ.
just lots of just stuff like that.
We're gonna find out more stories, and we'll get
Lots of
back.
porta
yeah,
potties. Summertime porta potties.
Dude,
Yeah,
those are
Kim Cam.
rough.
Even worse, there was one I went to in the winter, and they had heat lamps in there, and I think that
What?
was worse than it just being in the summer.
Because it's like
Ugh.
It was disgusting.
fucking food line just heating
Yeah.
that shit.
Nothing you can do about it. I mean, what are you
Yeah.
gonna do?
Why does it need heat lamps in there?
Because it was like during the winter, it's cold as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can just go in there and shit.
Fucking 6 degrees in like middle of Kansas.
Yeah, your ass is going to freeze to the fucking toilet.
You think I'm sitting on the fucking toilet? Just hovering over that thing. I'm working on my
Hey,
spot.
have you seen some of these fuckers? They're sitting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of these fuckers can't hover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not tall enough.
Yeah, exactly.
One of my
My
buddies-
legs dangle.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gilly. Shout out to Gilly. He's still listening, probably. I don't know. One of my buddies worked for a housing company,
Yeah.
and for he would go take the mobile homes out. And he was like, dude, just the most debaucherous shit. He's like, one of them, I had to clean out all these fucking liquor bottles because he's like, they'd been in there partying for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
He's like, I guess the rig shut down. I guess I didn't have anything to do. Somebody went out and got fucking liquor, and he was like, dude, It was like 18,000 Kyles were in this goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Everything had a hole in it.
Oh, yeah.
It was sticky.
The bunkhouses.
Oh, dude, he was bad. He was like, this is god awful. He's like, who eats this much fucking corn?
That's Bill. He worked on a rig. He had to stay in bunkhouses before.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he definitely
That's
does.
like
Dude,
stuff.
the
Those are
food
things I'd like never wanted to do in the oil field.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was telling us when he was
Once-
over.
He's
we
like,
had,
I did a little bit of everything.
We had like the best, like he does it again now. But honestly, that's like one of the best jobs is being like the third party
Yeah,
service company.
because you're just rolling out, taking
That
care of
and
shit.
like I'd get the workover crews and the drilling rig, hand, all that stuff. Like, hey, you guys want this package of gloves to do my job? And they're like, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like bring bags of McDonald's and like I kept them in my good graces, so I didn't actually have to do my job.
That's how you do it.
Dude,
So-
so when I was in Alaska,
And then expense like the food. We had expense accounts.
yeah, you're just like, I
Yeah.
don't give a shit.
Yeah,
McDonald's, man.
when I was in Alaska, a lot of times we'd fly into like Prudhoe Bay, Dead
Yeah.
Horse, the where the big oil sites. Well, we would stay, at the
man camps.
in the man
Yeah.
camps and do the food there is
Yeah.
like, I mean, everything. It's
everything that makes you shit.
everything that makes you shit,
Yeah.
and it's like as much as you want, just
Yeah.
24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you want to have the worst diarrhea every day?
They're like, oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
we got you.
come work here.
Dude. I when I worked in Bricktown,
And these motherfuckers hot swapping it, and you're like,
no one likes a warm seat.
yeah.
Yeah, when I worked in Bricktown, there was a place that was a little convenience store, and they were like, they did not have food.
Yeah.
And then one day I wanted to get cigarettes, and they had food.
Oh, that one right there by
Underneath the parking garage?
Yeah,
By
So you
Chevy.
went ahead
yeah.
and decided, I'm going to
Yeah.
try that.
I'm going to try that because we had Frio chili pie, and I was like, hell yeah, man, hook me up on this shit. I'm not thinking it with my fucking head.
yeah.
So I fucking get it, and I go back up to my office. Literally, it's like a block away. So
Yeah.
I walk back. Everyone that works in the survey crew is like, dude, you worked in the field before. You've been a mechanic. Why are you doing this? It's like,
Yeah.
fucking, it smells delicious, dude. They're like, it smells delicious.
Oh yeah.
What
yeah.
part of
smells delicious now?
Yeah, so so they made me sit down at this big ass table and eat it in front of them. They're like, all right, we want an email that goes out, not
Yeah.
to the company, but
Let
to
us
the
know
department.
30 minutes.
Yeah. So they all go off in the field and they're all fucking off, and I'm like, 30 minutes in, fine. It was delicious. You guys shut the fuck up. 45 minutes in, pretty rough fucking morning.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking rough morning. Like fucking 14 hot dogs at the fucking ballpark
Oh, yeah.
last. Like,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
was trying to do the 999. I was trying to
Yeah.
do 9 hot dogs, 9 beers, and 9 innings, and I can do the 9 beers.
Did
no
they just
problem.
change the name of the baseball team?
Oklahoma City Baseball Club. It's going to be.
Did they lose?
they're
are they not
going-
like a Dodger? Are they not the Dodgers?
The-
like
no,
farm
they're
team now?
they're
They're
affiliated
yeah.
with the Dodgers.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
going back to the 89ers.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
I don't know why they couldn't just automatically go back to the 89ers, but
I don't know. It's something about licensing, and because the Dodgers.
Yeah.
and so-
yeah,
it's something about that. But so they are still under the Dodgers organization. But
yeah,
they released some of the merchandise. It's the old.
yeah. You're old
baseball
enough to
man
remember.
logo.
Well,
89ers.
let's see. You would have got here what?
Yeah,
like-
he's a.
well,
I
but
came
he lived in
here-
Oregon for 10 years. 12 years?
2000. I came here in 2000.
Yeah, so
They were
already,
still the 89ers because they were still playing it when they shut down All Sports Stadium.
was the river was the canal here when you got here?
I don't remember.
I don't
I
know.
gotta look that up now. I don't.
I
think
lived in Piedmont. I didn't go downtown.
Well, that's true. Also, you're not fucking out partying. I'll look it up. I'll figure it out. I'll tell you guys. All right. So, is there any other stories that you can think of before we leave? 'Cause we're about at that time. You're gonna come back on, but you can always think about shit. But
We can just think of more stories for now. Be more prepared next time.
yeah, I gave you literally zero.
I mean, we had
input.
a week. I knew. But,
I told this motherfucker, I was like, "Hey, I want you on." He was like, "Okay, cool, sounds good." And then,
well, when I first said, you were like, "Hell no."
yeah. Wait,
God, I don't remember what I was going off on. You're like, because you're gonna say something like that.
there was a hot point.
It was about somebody that
Yeah.
everybody else likes in the industry that I don't.
Oh, yeah, whatever. No, I was like, you can come on whenever. That's
Yeah.
the funny thing is like everyone's like, oh, you told me I couldn't come on. I was like, I was joking. Like,
Yeah.
I need content.
Yeah.
I was like, please come on and start a shit show.
We'll save the next one for all the hot takes. No.
The hot take. Yeah. For after I get my tank where I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Were you high?
Everybody's like, yeah,
we're not doing this anymore. All right. Spanky, you got anything else you want to add?
No.
All right. We're going to walk around the backyard and look at some cars here in a little bit.
Yeah. I'm down
good
for
to
that.
you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, so Cal, where do people find you at?
I have
Dime Street Customs.
It is. Well, it's still at the speed deck. I think it's still up, or just at Cal Boggs.
Or
it's private.
Okay.
My personal page is private, but you can message me on there.
if you call OKC Dent Shop,
I mean, people can. I mean, I can put my number out there. Everybody has it anyway.
no, you don't have to do that.
8675309.
But usually,
Yeah.
for the most part, people have just got my number from.
If you need his number,
somebody.
you can reach out and we will filter that call for you.
Yeah.
I need a 1986 Goldwing painted.
There we go.
With
I want a
flames.
Goldwing.
Dude, I want a Goldwing so fucking bad.
I want a purple one
Yeah.
with all the lights.
Yeah.
Dude, you have no
And a
idea.
side-
I kind of
Sidecar.
want one that's a trike. That way I don't have to put my feet down at stoplights.
They have a
No,
reverse.
if there was a sidecar one.
if
What's
I
your
get
name?
one, I want one that's a trike.
Yeah, he wants a
Yeah.
trike one because the trike ones. So there's a guy in our neighborhood that has a trike.
Yeah.
He very rarely rides
like
it.
the reverse.
Yeah, his has his
Yeah,
trike.
not putting feet down at stoplights.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he says it's the shit, and
Yeah.
he's like, mine has heat and
Yeah.
AC somehow. I don't know how the AC
Yeah.
works, but
Because it's a car motor.
because it's
Yeah.
a V6 of a Honda Accord.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you cannot find Cal, you reach out to Chubby Boy Magic 405 at Instagram or Facebook, and then we will help you find Cal. I will personally take you over to his dungeon of despair.
Yeah, my cave.
Get him,
My
get
cave.
him to paint a lot of stuff for you.
Yes, he's a good
Yeah.
painter. He's a good guy. It's a good time. So, will you come back on and hang out again?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Cool. Well, thanks. All right. You got anything else you want to add? All right.
Nope.
I tried to get it in your time, but all right. Bye, guys. All right. Hold on. Where's the button? There we go. There's the outro music.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Dave. Bye.
Bye.